couple of those first drives, we got them into some third and medium, third and long situations. Actually got us to a fourth down.
Glory days, yeah, they'll pass you by. Glory days, and when the young goes out. Glory days, glory days. Lord, watch the Lord, brother. Think I'm going down to the well tonight, and I'm gonna drink till I get my fill. And I hope when I get old I don't sit around thinking about it, but I probably will. Yeah, just sitting back, trying to recapture a little of the glory of. Well, the time slips away and leaves you with nothing, mister, but boring stories of
Time for Forest City High School football on Mix 107.3 with Zarin Agastal.
Hey, thanks, John. Hello, everybody, and welcome to 4A City High School as we get set for high school football tonight between the 4A City Indians and the Garner-Hayfield Ventura Cardinals. We are getting set for this one. Two teams out there on the field getting ready. It's 4A City 1-3. They are 0-1 in Class 2A District Number 2. Garner-Hayfield Ventura is 1-3 and 1-0 in Class 2A District Number 2 after their win over Clarion Goldfield Dows last Friday night. This is our pregame show brought to you by KCS Customs and Kingland Construction Service in 4A City. We want to thank our good friends at KCS Customs and Kingland Construction Service. Give them a call today, 641-585-0101. That's 641-585-0101. We'll come back with more of the pregame show next here on KIOW.
KCS Customs of Forest City. KCS is your Western snowplow dealer and can also customize vehicles with LED lights, leveling kits, Jeep accessories, and more. Find out how we can help your ride on Facebook at KCS Customs. KCS Customs of Forest City, your Western snowplow dealer and vehicle customizer.
Welcome back here on KIOW. It is homecoming 2024 for the 4A City Indians. They're back at home for the first time after a two-game road swing that went to Eagle Grove, from Eagle Grove to Spirit Lake. 4A City going 1-1 on the road trip as they defeated Eagle Grove 47-14 a couple of weeks ago at Eagle Grove, and then went to Spirit Lake last week, number one team in Class 2A, and they fell to the Indians of Spirit Lake 56-0 to fall to 0-1 in Class 2A District Number 1. Back in district play, back at home for the first time since September 6th when they lost to Algona here on this field, as the Indians looking to get their first win at home here in 2024. And it would also be the first win for Tyler Anderson as head coach of the Indians on his home field. But standing in their way is Garner-Hayfield Ventura. The Cardinals with a big victory over Clarion Goldfield Dows last week as they beat CGD by a final score of 21-0. They are 1-3. They lost all three of their non-district games. A good one with West Hancock on night number one, fell in overtime 22-20, and then lost to Osage in a back-and-forth game that GHV lost 7-0, and then Central Springs defeated GHV on the 13th at Central Springs 20-14. For Garner-Hayfield Ventura, a little bit different as they are on the road for just the second time this season. They're going to spend three of the next 4 weeks on the road. They have one home game left against Spirit Lake on October 11th. Otherwise, they are on the road at 4A City, at Okoboji, at Esterville, Lincoln Central. 3 out of the next 4 weeks as they spent the first 3 of the first 4 weeks at home against West Hancock, Osage, and last week we're back at home against Clarion Goldfield Downs for their homecoming, in which they won again 21-0. Brandon Camrad and Tyler Anderson will match up for the first time as head coaches. Brandon is in his 4th season as the head coach of the Garner-Hayfield Ventura Cardinals. We will hear from him in just a little bit, but for now we are going to head to Des Moines as Todd Kim is standing by. He has got a breakdown of what's going on all around the state, high school football, college football, and everything. As we get set, this is the pregame show of 4A City and Garner-Hayfield Ventura, brought to you by Kingland Construction Service in Forest City. Give them a call today, 641-581-0101, 641-585-0101. KCS Customs and Kingland Construction Service. Hate to say it, but we're not terribly far away from needing those Western snowplows as well. And, of course, they're your authorized dealer for Western snowplows. 4A City 1-3, 0-1 in Class 2A District 2. Garner-Hayfield Ventura 1-3, 1-0 in Class 2A District Number 2. More of the pregame show. Our conversation with Coach Camrad comes up in about 15 minutes from now. But for now, let's head to Des Moines. Todd Kim is standing by. This is Indian Football from Koloff Media Sports.
From Radio Iowa Sports, this is the Scouting Report, an in-depth look at this week's prep and college games. Now from our studios in Des Moines, Todd Kim.
The 18th-ranked Cyclones open the Big 12 race at Houston. Drake begins defense of its Pioneer Football League title against San Diego, and Week 5 of the high school season features a trio of rated matchups in Class A. That and more on the Scouting Report.
Okay, gotta be late. Gotta go. Where'd I put... Wallets. Check. And... phone. Check. Keys. Check. Lunch. Check.
Checking for the things you need doesn't take long. But what about checking for your safety? Right now, 1 in every 5 vehicles on the road has an open safety recall. But it only takes seconds to check for open recalls on your car at checktoprotect.org. All you need is your vehicle identification number or license plate number. Your automaker may not have the right information to notify you about recalls by mail, especially if you recently moved or drive an older or used car. Checktoprotect.org is the quick, easy way to find out if your vehicle has an open safety recall and find the closest dealer who can make the repair for free.
Laptop. Check.
Before you go, take a minute. Visit checktoprotect.org. Check to Protect is a program of the National Safety Council.
The Scouting Report from Radio Iowa Sports.
With a 3-0 start and number 18 national ranking, Iowa State's now considered by many to be an early favorite for the new and expanded college football playoff. Cyclone coach Matt Campbell wants his team to ignore the big picture and focus only on Saturday night's Big 12 opener at Houston. The Cyclones are a nearly 2-touchdown favorite against a Cougar squad that is 1-3 under first-year coach Willie Fritz after a 34-0 loss at Cincinnati. Campbell's more focused on Houston's near upset of Oklahoma.
You know, we've been there. You know, you're a team that's building, and yeah, you know, it's like every week I'm sure there's been, you know, growth process that they've seen, and they've got a head football coach that's turned around 2 incredible football programs and built 2 great programs. So you see it's a team that's got great potential and great talent, and you know, there's times where they're playing elite football, and obviously they're just trying to find that consistency, as like almost all teams are right now early in the season.
Fritz led the turnaround at Tulane and is trying to do the same thing at Houston. He says the Cougars need to be ready for the physical challenge the Cyclones present.
Their base is a 3-man front, like we saw this last week, and then offensively, you know, they've got some big guys. You know, their offensive line probably averages 6'5", 6'6", 320. You know, they got a tough, hard-nosed team. We're going to have to come in and play tough ourselves.
Cyclone quarterback Rocco Beck says protecting the football is a key against a Houston defense that makes it a priority to create turnovers.
Those guys, they fly around. What we saw was, you know, whenever they want to throw the ball, whenever we get the ball, you know, in the receivers or running back stance, those defensive players are taught to hit that ball out, and they've done that a couple times. And so having a clasp hand, just holding on to that ball, especially me in the pocket, knowing that they're coming after, it's going to be big.
Kickoff in Houston is 6 o'clock. It'll be televised by Fox Sports 1. Drake opens defense of its Pioneer Football League championship at home Saturday against perennial power, the University of San Diego. After opening with a victory at Eastern Washington, the Bulldogs lost at 5th-ranked South Dakota last week. San Diego's 2-1 against a challenging schedule, which includes a win over FCS Cal Poly. Drake coach Todd Stepsis is concerned about a San Diego defense that's already scored 3 touchdowns this season.
You know, we've got to take care of the football offensively. We can't give them any, you know, free points. So, you know, whether that's, you know, intercepts for touchdowns or you know, short fields for their offense or even in the kicking game, you got to make them earn it. And so, you know, we've got a great defense. And so, you know, any points that they get, you know, we want to make sure that it's our defense that they're earning against, and it's not a freebie that we're giving them.
Also in Iowa college action tomorrow, Upper Iowa's on the road at Quincy. The Peacocks are 2-2. High school football's next on the Scouting Report.
Hancock County Health System Physical Therapy Department is here for you. Hi, I'm Dawn Heatland, Director and Physical Therapist at Hancock County Health System. Here we individually work with you to get you moving again. We have trained professionals that will work one-on-one with you to improve your strength, balance, and get you moving as pain-free as possible. HCHS Rehab has offices in Britt, Garner, and Kanawha. Call 641-843-5500 to find out how we can help you. Hancock County Health System. Your health, our care, a lasting partnership.
The Scouting Report from Radio Iowa Sports.
As the second half of the regular season begins in Class A, 3 rated clashes are on the schedule. 4th-ranked Lisbon hosts number 8 Pekin, and the winner takes command in District 5. This game matches 2 outstanding defenses. Pekin has allowed a total of 10 points and has posted 3 shutouts in a 4-0 start. Lisbon has yielded 12 points and posted 2 shutouts. Lions coach Dylan Hastings says the Pekin offense will provide a difficult test.
And they got that Will Adam kid at quarterback who has been phenomenal for them this year. He's got good wheels. He can get out of the pocket and run and make something out of nothing. And we know they're gonna try and spread us out and send verticals down the field and then let their quarterback do his thing. So, it's definitely going to be that defensive battle and who can get the most stops on that side of the ball.
Pekin coach Clint Weber says special teams have been a big factor in this series. A year ago, Lisbon returned a kickoff for a touchdown in a 17-7 victory.
The year before that, even, they took a kick return to the house. So the last 2 years, we've given up a kick return all the way. Our kids know that, and, not that it wasn't a point of emphasis then, but it's even more of a point of emphasis now, being sharp at special teams, because everybody knows an explosive special team play is a difference maker in a game.
Top ranked in Class A, ACGC is on the road at Riverside, while number 2 West Hancock hosts West Fork. 3rd ranked Nashua Plainfield's on the road to play number 6 St. Ansgar. Mark Pitts has a preview.
Nashua Plainfield coach Chase Sudol says the Huskies defense will need a group effort against a balanced St. Ansgar offense.
It's going to take all 11 guys on the field doing their job, because they'll pound it at you and they'll keep bringing it at you, and you're going to have to be ready every single play. They have the weapons where they can do multiple things.
St. Ansgar coach Drew Clevenger says their defense has to be ready for a Huskies rushing attack that averages 350 yards a game.
You're never really going to shut them down, but we just need to contain them as much as possible and not give up a big play.
Clevenger says he's more concerned with his team's improvement than the hype around the game.
It's one of those things that we don't spend a lot of time on, but we're certainly aware that it's out there.
Sudol agrees, but also says these are the games you play for.
So to be in this situation, it's fun for us, it's fun for the kids. We got to enjoy the moment, too, and just see what happens. I mean, don't put pressure on it. Just continue to do what we've done all year long and see what that does for us.
It's also homecoming for St. Ansgar. Mark Pitts for the Radio Iowa Scouting Report.
5th-ranked Madrid is on the road at number 10 Earlham. A year ago, Madrid won the game 13-6, and Tiger coach Brock Hinkle was asked if defense will dominate again.
We should have a good weather game. Last year, I thought it was wasn't raining, but it was really slick out, and we had a lot of turnovers last year. So it should be fun. Should be tough, physical game, and we'll find out.
On to 8-player, where top-ranked Algona Garrigan is at home against Rockford. Number 2 Lennox hosts East Union, and 3rd-ranked Remsen St. Mary's plays host to Newell Fonda. There is one rated matchup in 5A this week. It finds 8th-ranked Linn-Mar hosting number 10 Cedar Falls. Top-ranked Dowling Catholic goes up against Des Moines Roosevelt. Number 2 West Des Moines Valley is at Ames. This season, Bex is recognizing student athletes that are not just a star in athletics, but a player that shows heart in school, at work, through the community, and in the ag industry. Addison Poppin of Webster City will miss her senior season in volleyball and basketball due to an ACL injury, but she's maintaining a positive attitude.
I am still going to volleyball practices and going to all of the games to encourage my teammates, because I realize that they also need me there cheering them on, like I have been since middle school and like 4th grade.
Olivia Primrose of Vinton-Shellsburg learned the value of hard work by watching her father on the farm.
He'll never give up. He just puts everything into it, and we kind of grew up with the attitude that if it needs to get done, it'll get done, and it'll get done right the first time.
Olivia is hoping to qualify for the state cross-country meet and state track and field championships for the 2nd straight year. She's also passing along her love for running by helping with a youth cross-country camp.
And it's really fun to watch kids get excited about it, and I can show them what I know and how I love the sport and hope it passes down to them.
Growing up on a farm has taught Azaria McDonough of Central Springs the value of hard work and persistence. As a 4-sport athlete who competes in volleyball, basketball, track, and softball, she's in season nearly year-round.
I feel like it's easier for me to just get everything done versus when I'm not in a season. Then I feel like I have all the time in the world, and sometimes I don't really have all the time in the world. So I really like being busy because it helps me manage my time better.
Nominate a student athlete by searching Beck's Player with Heart. The rest of Week 5 is next on the Scouting Report.
At
Hancock County Health System, our occupational therapists treat individuals of all ages, from a child needing to improve participation in school or play, assisting an injured worker to regain skills, or providing support to older adults with cognitive or physical changes. Hi, I'm Carrie Frieders, an occupational therapist at HCHS. I have additional certifications in hand therapy and swelling in the legs known as lymphedema. Call HCHS to find out more. 641-843-5500. Hancock County Health System, your health, our care, a lasting partnership.
The Scouting Report from Radio Iowa Sports.
Familiar foes meet this evening in Class 2A District 1 as 10th-ranked Western Christian visits number 2 West Lyon. Doug Brook has a preview.
Both teams began district play with wins last week. Western Christian coach Travis Koima says it's another in a string of big games with West Lyon. Koima says West Lyon is great at capitalizing on mistakes.
You cannot give them short fields, and you can't make mistakes on special teams or just give them any type of momentum off a mistake that you made.
West Lyon coach Jay Rosenbaum says Western's quarterback Landon DeStichter makes the Wolfpack offense a challenge to defend.
He throws a really good ball, hits the receivers in stride, and does a great job of finding them. So he's quite a threat, with his arm, and he ran the ball a few times very effectively too. So, we think they have a really good quarterback right there, and we have to prepare for a tough matchup tonight.
Turnovers could be a factor. Western Christian has forced 11 turnovers this season, 4 alone in its district opening win against Cherokee last week, while West Lyon has turned the ball over only 3 times all season. For the Radio Iowa Scouting Report, I'm Doug Brook.
2A top-ranked Spirit Lake is at Okoboji. Number 3 PCM Monroe hosts Union. It's 4th-ranked Van Meter at Clark, while number 5 Carroll Kemper plays host to Greene County. In 1A, 2 of the contenders in District 1 collide tonight when 4th-ranked OABCIG hosts Ridgeview. Ryan Thompson reports.
OABCIG coach Larry Allen knows it will be a challenge facing a Ridgeview defense that's only allowing 8 points per game.
Well, they're very aggressive up front, put a lot of pressure on the quarterback. At times people have had chances to run the ball on them and had a little bit of success, and other times they've been able to shut the door on them. So, we just have to assess where we think we have an advantage in areas and try to use that to our best of our ability.
Ridgeview coach Brian Wilkins' team will have to contend with an OABCIG offense that's averaging over 39 points per game.
We're going to spread you out and still have the ability to run the ball successfully. Bryson Kohler has been one of the top quarterbacks in the state the last couple of years. Got a number of receivers he can throw to, and the scary thing is the ability to extend plays. We're going to have to keep playing hard and keep pursuing to the football, keep covering, and we got to be ready to tackle very well in space.
OABCIG has won the last 7 meetings with Ridgeview. Last year's game went down to the wire as OABCIG had to rally for a 19-15 win. Both teams are 3-1 and 1-0 in district play. This has been Ryan Thompson reporting from Storm Lake for the Scouting Report.
1A top-ranked Grundy Center hosts Waterloo Columbus. It's 2nd-ranked Wilton at home against Durant. 3rd-ranked Emmetsburg hosts Sioux Central. Class 3A tonight, there's one rated matchup. It finds 3rd-ranked Solon hosting number 9 Grinnell. Top-ranked Algona is at Charles City, while number 2 Williamsburg is at South Tama. And in 4A, top-ranked Lewis Central visits Glenwood. 2nd-ranked Gilbert is at Des Moines Hoover, while 3rd-ranked Pella visits Carlisle. That's all for the Scouting Report. For Radio Iowa Sports, I'm
They've got a redesigned dining room. They also have specials coming out every Friday, so check out their Facebook page, facebook.com/shooters, to see all the specials each Friday. And then go in and try them. They're delicious, and Leah's doing a great job with that at Shooters Sports Bar and Grill. Now we welcome in Brandon Camrad, the head Garner-Hayfield Ventura Cardinal. And, Coach, thanks so much for taking some time and talking with us today.
Hey, no problem. Anytime. Thank you.
Well, Coach, let's start early on in the season. I know some ups and downs, which every football team has. You guys were so close in some of those early games. You took West Hancock, who's a top team in Class A, to overtime. Good game with Osage, come up just short to Central Springs. Defense keeping you in all those games, just couldn't quite find enough offense to score in those games. Coach, what was the mindset after those first couple of games?
Like we went in, we wanted to be as physical as possible, because we know that's how you're going to control the line of scrimmage is by being physical and executing, and we knew all three of those games were going to be tough tests, but we just got to play hard and be us and, like I said, be physical and just execute, and in those first few games, just a couple plays, they executed a little better than us, and they made the play, and we weren't able to come out on top. But, last week I felt we had a four-quarter game. We played really well on all phases. That's what leads to win.
Guys, you guys opened up district play last week with a win over Clarion and Goldfield Dows. Coach, what did that do for the team's confidence? And it had to feel really good for your team coming into this week after picking up that big win over CGD.
Oh, it felt real good. These seniors we've got here, have been on the varsity team since they were sophomores. So, they've had a lot of experience, and they know what losing's like. We've kind of had a rough couple of years here, but they really said this year it's going to be different. They've been working extremely hard, and for them to get the win on their homecoming, felt really good for them because they've earned it. And but now it's we got to keep moving forward, and now we got to go up and play a good four-city team and just take care of business every week.
Coach, let's start talking about your offense a little bit first. What will 4A City fans see? Anything different offensively from your team that 4A City fans come to expect?
We're a little different this year. We still, we want to establish the running game. That's our bread and butter there, but we can also, make plays outside in space with the guys that we have on this football team, so we can really be as balanced as we want to be. But, it all starts up front. If we're playing well up front, that really opens up a lot of things for you on offense. So that's where we need to focus, is getting it done up front.
Talk about some of your offensive standouts that have really played well for you so far.
Lucas Carl's been running the ball really well, as we knew he would, coming back from last year being our main ball carrier, and then in the passing game, Lane Gakin missed last year being injured, so he was excited to get back on the field and lead the offense. And then we've got Nicholas Zarowsik at receiver, and then Gage Cones is kind of our do-it-all guy on the offensive side. He'll run the ball and catch the ball, and it's good having those guys. And we got a couple others too. We just need to try to find ways to get everybody the ball spread it around, keep them off balance.
Defensively, from your team, what will 4A City fans see tonight?
Defensively, that's been we're really hanging our hats on defense so far through this season. They've been tough, kind of a bend but don't break at times, but we've had a lot of times where teams would get inside the 10 and we'd hold them out, so that's big to do that. You don't want them to get down there too often because it's tough, but when they need to answer the call, they've done it all year. So it's definitely a great job by them. We just need to keep that going.
Rivalry night, 4A City and Garner Hayfield Ventura. Coach, what have you seen from this new look 4A City team, new coach 4A City team on film so far this week?
We scrimmaged them early in the season, so we got a little bit there, but that's been weeks ago. So we're a different team; they're a different team for sure. They throw the ball real well. Their quarterback's been there a couple of years. This is third year, I believe, being the starter, so he's got a lot of experience. He knows he's probably seen about every defense he can see. They got athletes to get them the ball, and they're also good up front. So, it's going to take a good effort from us. Last couple of years they've got us both games, so we need to really work hard and focus up and, do our best to be the best on every snap.
Do you think that's on the minds of players, coaches, just the fact that, 4A City has won the last couple of years and you guys trying to, get back on top and kind of keep it a back-and-forth rivalry? Is that, or is it just another football game tonight?
At the end of the day, yes, it is another football game, but, we're in the time of day now where they know each other. They may be doing some college classes together, so they see each other every day, and they play basketball, wrestle, track, baseball, everything against each other. So it's hard not to get caught up in the rivalry type setup, which I think it's great. Really adds to the intensity of the game because you want to go to class on Monday if you have a class with another football player from Forest City and say, hey, how about that game, So it makes it fun, and it's good. It's good for the communities, and it's a fun situation.
Well, Coach, you mentioned your team got the win on homecoming. Now it's 4A City's chance to try to get a win on homecoming. Does that change anything for you guys going into this game at all?
For us, homecoming as a football coach, there's a lot of distractions, as far as stuff going on outside of practice. So we know where they're sitting, but it all comes down to the game. They're going to be fired up to play in front of probably a big crowd because it is homecoming. and that always brings a little extra energy. So we just got to, match that energy and see if we can exceed their energy from every snap.
Coach, you're on turf for the first time this year. I know the kids have experience playing baseball and football and stuff at 4A City, but first time on turf this year, does that change anything?
Yep. I will be on the turf for the first time this year. They've played on it plenty, so I don't see that being a real factor, but definitely something that's going to be different for us.
All right, Coach, thanks so much for your time talking with us today. We really do appreciate it. Best of luck to the Cardinals tonight as they take on 4A City for homecoming.
All right, thank you.
That's Garner Hayfield Ventura head football coach Brandon Camrad as we get set for 4A City and Garner Hayfield Ventura. It should be a good time as these two teams meet up once again. They've met as Garner, they've met as Garner Hayfield, and now they are meeting again this year as Garner Hayfield Ventura. It's been a long time of a rivalry between 4A City and GHV, Garner and Garner Hayfield. Should be a lot of fun. Glad to have you, each and every single one of you, on the broadcast tonight and with us. Hopefully you'll stay with us as we go on throughout tonight's game. Our Behind the Enemy Lines program has been brought to you by Shooters Sports Bar and Grill. Shooters located on the north end of 4A City. They've got specials every Friday. Make sure you check out their Facebook page at Shooters Bar FC on Facebook. Shooters Sports Bar and Grill, the sponsor of the Behind the Enemy Lines program, which you hear on the pregame show every week. We talk to the opposing coach getting set for kickoff that night between those two teams. Going to have a great night for 4A City and Garner Hayfield Ventura. Thanks to our good friends at Shooters Sports Bar and Grill. Go check out their Facebook page for this week's special. I'm Zarin Egestal. We'll come back in 2 minutes on the pregame show, and we've got kickoff coming up at the top of the hour between 4A City and GHV. It's homecoming. 4A City Homecoming 2024. We'll be right back.
Shooters in Forest City is under new ownership. Hello, I'm Leah. I'm one of the new owners. Have you seen our weekly specials on our Facebook page? Posted every Friday. If not, give us a follow.
We're committed to the same great service you have come to know and expect. So come on in and give us a try today.
Advanced Door Systems of Forest City. Advanced Door Systems is your Raynor and CHI overhead door dealer. They also service any make or model of overhead door. Call 641-585-1900 to see them online at ads-doors.com. Advanced Door Systems, the right door, the right way.
Hi, Olivia here from Everyday Nutrition in Forest City, offering meal replacement shakes and energizing drinks. Our drinks offer the everyday energy and vitamins you need without the dreadful crash you get from the other drinks. But that's not all. Not sure where to start with your wellness journey? Inquire on Facebook or stop by today.
Malin Egg Service of Forest City is a proud supporter of Forest City High School athletics. Nate Malin is with you from the word go. From planting to harvest, you can count on Nate. Contact him today in Forest City at 641-860-1712. Nate will help you put the right seed on your acres. 641-860-1712.
Hey, this is Tom McGregor, the new manager of Forest City Auto Center in Chrysler of Forest City. Stop by the Forest City Auto Center on the north side for Chevy and GM products, and Chrysler on the south side for Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram products. Our stores proudly support the Indians.
Lucas Woogie is your locally owned Cornelius Seed dealer here in Forest City. Cornelius Seed, an Iowa-based company, has a full line of corn and soybeans. Call Lucas today at 641-860-0595. Plant it, profit. Cornelius Seed from Lucas Woogie.
Times there early, and it's just like we're right there. You know, we're a play or two away a little bit and giving ourselves a little breather, but just got to keep practicing, keep getting better, and working on those little things, and keep improving every single week.
And, Coach, now you got a 4-game stretch of the postseason. It starts tonight. Homecoming and rivalry matchup with Garner Hayfield Ventura. Cardinals coming off a big win over CGD to open up district play last week. Coach, you got the rivalry matchup with GHV tonight.
Yeah, obviously going to be a big week with homecoming, and Forest City versus Garner is a very fun game to play in just because of the rivalry, like you said, and so we got to come ready to play. We got to do our best to stay focused on the game and not let too much outside noise kind of affect where we're at with things. Although homecoming is a great event, and the kids should enjoy that as well. But we got to come ready to play and kind of get this second half of the season kicked off on a positive note as we roll through district play here now.
At times, some contrasting styles. You guys like to throw it around a little bit more than they do. They like to pound the football a little bit more from time to time.
Yeah, I'm expecting them to be, a pretty physical football team. They have some good size. Like you said, they want to run the ball and have some pretty good run defense over there. So, gonna come out and be a physical football team. Not gonna be afraid of anything. So we got to come ready to stop the run and continue to run the ball better on our side of the offense, but also throw it kind of when the opportunities are there and the defense dictates that stuff. But going to be a team that comes over and competes and plays for 4 quarters, so it should be a fun football game.
And as we talked about before, of course, you and I have both been a part of this rivalry before, and from GHV's end of it, we've got them the last couple of years, and so do you think that's maybe something in the back of their mind, thinking, hey, we've lost to 4A City a couple of years in a row, and we don't want to lose to 4A City anymore? Is that, we want to win this rivalry game? So, do you think that's ever in the mind of an opponent coming in?
I mean, I'm sure. Just as a coach and as a player, you always, one of the first things you look at is what happened with this team last year. And so they've had to do that a few years in a row where we've gotten the victory over them. So I'm sure they want to come out and kind of stop that little streak that they got going there. But also just it being a rivalry game, it's the second game of district play. I would imagine that they'll be pretty amped up and, ready to go kind of regardless of past years. But, yeah, definitely something that they probably have in the back of their minds.
All righty, Coach, thanks so much for your time. It's Homecoming 2024 at 4A City. Coach Tyler Anderson, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.
We'll come back on the pregame show, brought to you by KCS Customs of Kingland Construction Service in 4A City. Give them a call today, 641-585-0101. Again, that's 641-585-0101. KCS Customs for all your truck customization, and we're getting closer to that time of year where you need your Western snow plows. They're your authorized dealer of that as well, so make sure you get a hold of KCS Customs and Kingland Construction Service for your Western snow plows, as they are your authorized dealers. Getting set, Indians and Cardinals will come back in a minute. For more high school football, starting lineups and kickoff is next. This is Indian
First Choice
Football.
Realty is proud to
Media.
support our community's real estate moves. Summer is here and it's time to find your perfect home for your future. Call one of our trusted real estate agents, Bethany, Barb, Abigail, Mary, or Teresa, 641-585-2404, or visit us at fcrealty.com.
Real man of genius. I don't know about genius, but we've been called worse. Call Matt, Chuck, or Jake at County Line Seeds, offering DeKalb Asgrow, Whiffles, NK, and Latham products. We strive by turning seeds into opportunity. Give us a call today, 641-581-3300. Now that I think about it, that was kind of catchy.
Wilson Dental is expanding again. Wilson Dental now offering a clinic in Buffalo Center. Check out Wilson Dental now in Buffalo Center to go along with their long-standing tradition in 4A City and also offering services in Garner. Wilson Dental in 4A City, Garner, and now Buffalo Center.
On the pregame show, getting set for 4A City and Garner Hayfield Ventura. Zarin Egestal here with you this evening. Once again joined by Tanner Thompson, who's joining us in the booth now, getting set for this matchup. And man, can't get much better than 4A City and Garner Hayfield Ventura. I mean, you've been a part of this. I've been a part of this. A lot of these kids now for a couple of years have, and just a fun matchup.
Absolutely. I mean, a great rivalry, and especially to have it on homecoming, just to add a little bit more oomph to it. I mean, I think it's going to be a fun game for sure.
Yeah, no doubt about that. It's one of those games that both teams just want to win it so badly. Of course, you want to win every game, but this is bragging rights. There's still people. We still talk about our matchups with GHV from years past. It's just something you talk about for years and years to come, and it should be a lot of fun. Also, as you mentioned, it's homecoming. And, there's a lot of distractions and stuff that come with homecoming. So as a player, how do you kind of have fun this week, but also kind of set that aside and, hey, it's time to play football?
That is the tough part of it. I think coaches do a great job of bringing that up quite a bit, not to get distracted. I mean, these are kids, so you want them to still have fun and enjoy homecoming. But you don't want them to get too sucked into that they completely forget that there's a game going on, especially a district game against a rival. So you just got to try to do the things you can when it comes to the homecoming festivities, but keep that focus kind of going on underneath the whole time.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Let's take a look at our starting lineups tonight as we get set for this matchup between GHV and 4A City, and we'll start with the starting lineups for head coach Brennan Camrad and his Garner Hayfield Ventura Cardinals, who come in here tonight at 1-3 and 1-0 in Class 2A District number 2. Let's start with the offensive line. 4 of the 5 offensive linemen return from last year's team, so it's an experienced offensive line up front for GHV. The center is number 61, Dominic Holder. Again, it's nice to have a center who's playing for a second straight year. Ben Fox is at right guard. The right tackle is Raider Bell. He wears number 52. At left guard is Zach Tho at number 56, and the left tackle is number 64, Caleb Stewart. The quarterback is Lane Gakin, missed last year with an injury. Actually has missed a couple of seasons with an injury, but so far senior season has gone well. Knock on wood for Lane. I want to see him healthy throughout the year. He's 17 of 35 through the air so far this year, the senior quarterback for Garner Hayfield Ventura. At wide receiver, Nicholas Roslick wears number 11. The other wide receiver is number 12, Lucas Krall. Carter Dadema will play tight end, wide receiver position, and Gage Cones also at wide receiver for GHV. The fullback is number 30, Parker Moritz, and we know GHV like to use that fullback at times. They're going to run him right up the middle. It's also going to be in there as a blocker. On defense for GHV, their defensive line is Zane Haw, wears number 21. 50 is Logan Kuji. The defensive tackle is number 61, Dominic Holder. The other defensive end is number 55, Ben Fox. So a couple of guys you see on the offense and defensive line. At linebacker is number 34, Parker Stearns. The other linebacker is Carter Dadema. Parker Moritz is at linebacker. The corners, Lucas Krall, and number 11, Nicholas Roslick. Gage Cones is at strong safety, and the free safety is number 9, Sam Catter, for the Cardinals of Garner Hayfield Ventura, playing their 5th game of the season here in week number 5. Now we'll flip over. We'll take a look at a little bit of a different starting lineup for 4A City. The Indians going a little bit different, as you've seen for the last couple of games. Got a couple of guys who have been injured. They are back on the Indians roster, and Peter Wilson, as you see offensively, we'll start with the 4A City offense. He will make his first start tonight at running back for the Indians. Has run hard this year, 33 attempts for 136 yards. The 6'1", 175 sophomore will get the start tonight for the Indians. The tight ends are just like normal, number 40, Luke Kearney, and number 20, Corey Thorson. The wide receivers, good to see Carson Hall is back into commission for another week here for the Indians. He wears number 1. It stands at 6'2", 185 pounds. Also for the Indians, on the offensive line is left tackle Brock Good. Good to see him back. He was out last couple of weeks, as was Gavin Litz, and he's back at the left guard position. The center, as always, is number 63, Peyton Klein. The right guard is number 57, Gabe Kozma. Saw him go down a little bit last week, but glad to see he is okay and playing for the Indians. And Tristan Bransoy will be the Indians' right tackle tonight for 4A City. And, of course, the offense is led by the senior who's thrown for a ton of yards in his career. 659 this year is number 9, Ty Dillavu. He is the starting quarterback for your 4A City Indians. On defense, the Indians will look like this. The defensive tackles are number 78, Brock Good, and number 53, Nick Donchie. Willie Holmes will make his first start of the season. He'll be at defensive end. He's a senior wearing number 85 for the Indians. Tristan Bransoy is the other defensive end. At linebacker is number 24, James Hagan, number 40, Lucas Kearney. Ryan Bailey will wear number 6. He's at linebacker, as is Gabe Kozma at number 57. The corners, Deegan Moore for the Indians. He's a junior, 5'6", 140. Carson Hall is at the other corner. And the free safety is number 33, Peter Wilson. So, of course, Wilson, I mentioned, getting the start tonight as the Indians running back, also getting the start at the free safety position tonight for 4A City, as the Indians get set to take on Garner Hayfield Ventura here in a homecoming 2024 rivalry matchup between the Indians and the Cardinals. And good to see, Tanner, will bring you back in. Good to see the Indians pretty much back to full strength health-wise. I know I've been battling with that. It's always tough as a coach trying to fight through those injuries, but 4A City still missing a couple of guys, but for the most part getting back to healthy.
Right, and even some of the guys that are going in right now, too, have some experience playing. So it's not just totally brand new, never seen the field before. Really, they are have some experience that's going to help them a lot getting the starts tonight. Let's see now how they can actually handle it and hopefully everyone stays healthy going through it too, is the key thing.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing is continuing to stay healthy. It's one thing to get healthy. It's an even bigger thing to stay healthy this season for the Indians, for a city. Of course, GHV, they've battled their injuries throughout the season. Mentioned Lane Gakin, the starting quarterback, has missed a couple of years. He was going to be a guy like Ty Dillevue, probably a three-year guy at quarterback there for GHV. And good to see he is healthy this year and playing full strength for the most part. For Garner Hayfield Ventura, the senior quarterback, again 17 of 38, 3 interceptions and 3 touchdowns so far this season. We'll take a break for the national anthem. We'll come back as we'll break down these two teams a little bit more. Coin toss kickoff and homecoming 2024 will get underway at about the top of the hour here. We'll come back in a couple of minutes following the national anthem. This is Indian football from Koloff Media Sports.
Forest City Ford at the corner of 9 and 69 in Forest City wishes good luck to our local athletes. We look forward to seeing you compete. When you need a vehicle, see us at Forest City Ford, where customers really do send their friends.
Matt Jennings and Troy Hall of Jennings & Hall Financial Group, located at MBT Bank, want to thank our Forest City teams for their hard work and dedication and wish them good luck this season. Best wishes from Matt and Troy at Jennings & Hall Financial Group, located at MBT Bank in Forest City.
MBT Bank, based in Forest City, with 9 locations across northern Iowa and southern Minnesota to serve you. MBT supports the Forest City Indians, and we look forward to seeing our student athletes compete all year long. Good luck, Indians, from MBT Bank in Forest City.
Discover Waldorf University in Forest City, where your passion meets opportunity. With scholarships available up to full tuition, a wide range of athletics, fine arts, and over 35 clubs and organizations, there's something for everyone. Whether on campus or online, experience the support of a community that feels like home. Learn more today at waldorf.edu.
WCTA is the #1 choice for fiber internet. We offer fast, reliable fiber internet for all your connectivity needs. Our employees are local and live in the communities we serve to provide you with the best customer service experience. WCTA, we are your fiber internet provider.
Well, there's the national anthem from the Forest City High School Marching Band. Oh, doing a great job with that. We're going to hear from the Forest City High School Marching Band at halftime as we will have their performance live here on our live stream at the halftime break. And we'll get to see what the band has been up to, getting set for all of their great competitions coming up throughout this season. Well, let's take a look first at this history series between these two teams. It is the 75th all-time. Now, of course, that number, if you're looking at that, does change because more scores pop up, right? We're still digging back, trying to find old scores, and so that changes. But as of right now, recorded 75th meeting between these two teams. As far as Garner Hayfield Ventura and 4A City playing for just a 10th time, of course, that records we have pretty easily. The Indians have only won 3 of 9 played matchups between GHV and 4A City. Getting set to try to win a 3rd straight. Has been a while since Forest City has won 3 straight in this series between these two teams. Forest City's won 42 of the recorded meetings that have been found in Garner Hayfield Ventura, 32 of those meetings. Back-to-back shutouts the last 2 meetings for 4A City for the first time since 85 and 86. First recorded matchup 1904, which Garner won by a score of 16-6. That game was played at Garner, and these two teams have met one other time on September 27th. That was in 1985. These two teams met on September 27th. The only other time that I found they have played on this date, and 4A City won that game by a final score of 7-0. Taking a look at these two teams, 4A City scored 96 points this year, GHV 55. Passing yards and rushing yards, that's what we talked about with Coach Camrad and Coach Anderson just a little bit ago. 4A City 59 passing, GHV 232. On the ground, though, the Cardinals 587 this year, 4A City 222. Tackles, GHV a few more. Of course, you play a game like West Hancock, you're making a lot of tackles on those teams. So 213 tackles this year for GHV, 157 for the Indians. Defensive turnovers, both teams have 2 fumble recoveries and 4 interceptions. this year. The Indians have returned 24 kicks for 452 yards. GHV 8 kicks for 165 yards. Current record, the Indians are 1-3, 0-1 in Class 2A District 2. And GHV is 1-3. They're 1-0 after their win against Clarion Goldfield Dow's last week. All time, we mentioned that's 42-32 in favor of 4A City and sacks the Indians. 4.5 sacks to Garner Hayfield Ventura's 1 sack this season. We mentioned the district standings. We'll take a look at those here before we get set for kickoff. Spirit Lake, they're 3-1 and 1-0. Okoboji is also 3-1 and 1-0 in district play. GHV in the top third as they beat Clarion Goldfield Dow's. They're 1-3, but the bottom half of that district, look at that, 1-3, 1-3, 1-3, 0-4. So it's going to be a big fight for who's going to find those last 2 playoff spots. Remember, 4 teams make the playoffs. Of the 6 teams, ELC is the 0-4 team. Clarion Goldfield Dow's, 4A City, GHV all 1-3. The Indians, the Cowboys, and the Midgets are all 0-1 in district play after week number 1. So it should be an exciting game. BC Moore computer projection says this is a Garner Hayfield Ventura win by 4.5 points heading into tonight's contest. So it should be a lot of fun. It's expected to be a good one as we take a look at the kickoff temperature. 73 degrees here in 4A City. It's a beautiful night for high school football, 73 degrees. It's dropped a little bit. Wind 9 miles per hour out of the northeast. It was 81 when I first got here at about 2:30 this afternoon. So in the last 5 hours, 4.5 hours, it has dropped pretty substantially, but 14 mile per hour wind. Gusts with the wind steady at about 9 miles an hour as we head into kickoff. GHV has the ball teed up, and we are underway here on Homecoming 2024 as the Indians will take it at the 15-yard line. That's Deacon Moore across the 20, 25, still on his feet, 30, 35, 40, still loose to midfield. He's across midfield and loose inside GHV territory across the 45 down near the 40-yard line. I don't see a penalty marker on the field. Oh, there is one. I do see one. There is a penalty marker at the 37-yard line in 4A City territory, so that's not a good sign if you're an Indian fan.
No, it's not. I didn't see anything on my end. I was too busy watching, Deacon going up the sideline there, but hope to not see a holding call, but it looks like it just might be bringing that kick return back.
That's going to be a tough one as the Garner Hayfield Ventura student section across the way. Of course, homecoming with GHV, great crowd on hand here. It is holding against the Indians, so it'll be 10 yards from the 37, so 4A City will start at the 27-yard line inside your own territory. That's a big swing. You're about to start at the 40 of GHV. Instead, you're starting at your own 27.
Absolutely. I mean, what a killer to momentum right away. You feel so great about being in enemy territory right away off the kickoff, and then to send it back, about 20 yards right away. Not a good feeling. But now let's see if they can, overcome that adversity and get a drive going.
Yeah, we'll see what the Indians offense can do for the first time tonight, led by the senior Ty Dillevue. He's got a receiver, 2 receivers here on the near side. Tight end, a receiver on the far side. Running back, Peter Wilson in the backfield. It'll be a quick pass out to Sopko. He's got it 25-30. Gets a block to the 35, still on his feet near the 40-yard line. A good run on first down of about 12 yards for Sopko, and the Indians will get a big chunk of that yardage back.
And there you go. That's exactly what you need to do to get that momentum back in play. Again, getting called back on the kick return. Good to start off with a big play right there.
So the Indians will have first down and 10 after about a 12-yard pickup on first down from Dillevue to Sopko, and they'll start now at the 39-yard line, where the offense, Indians in their red jerseys, white helmets, and white pants. GHV black helmets, white jerseys, and black pants. And they'll hand it off to Wilson for the first time tonight. He is swarmed there by both Stearns and Moritz. The 2 middle linebackers, Stearns and Moritz, quickly get in there and will knock Peter Wilson down about at the line of scrimmage, so no loss on the play.
Yeah, not much time for Peter to react on that one. They were in there right away.
They sure were. GHV, of course, been watching 4 weeks of film of the Indians, as 4A City has of the Cardinals. You get to this time of year, it's not really hiding too much for your team, as you got 4 games of film on. 2 receivers here to the near side. That's Carson Hall and Sopko. Tight end Corey Thorson on the far side of the formation. Here's the snap to Dillevue. Dillevue will throw. It's complete to Sopko. He's got it across midfield now inside GHV territory. And another good pitch and catch. The Indians are 2 for 2 throwing the football tonight against this GHV defense.
Yeah, and I think he had a couple guys open there, really, so that's a good thing to see. And, you don't want to give up on the run this quickly, obviously, but, man, the pass looks like it's working pretty good on those couple plays.
And take us into the mind of the quarterback. I mean, you probably have where you want to go originally, so if you have two guys open, you're probably going to where you were thinking pre-snap.
Yeah, and there's a progression that you go through. He's looking at his receivers first, and
here's Wilson on the carry across the 45. He'll finally be knocked down at about the 44-yard line. So the Indians right back to where they were when that kickoff got called back at the GHV 44.
Yeah, and as far as going through that, progression, you kind of got a pattern of where you're wanting to go to. He must have saw something on the defense right away, and he had Sopko there. I think he had Peter Wilson really on a swing route out to the left also. So that builds a lot of confidence for the quarterback to be able to see a few guys open when he's passing the ball.
Good offensive drive, a couple of first downs for the Indians so far. They've got 2nd down and 6 with 10 minutes to play in the opening quarter. Pitch out to Wilson. He's looking for some running room. He gets off of one tackler and is going to find maybe a yard as Ryan Bailey had to get off that block. He was near a hold there, but he let go of the block, and that was Dadema, the linebacker, coming in. Can't quite make the play. The Indians will get 1 yard to make it 3rd down and 5. And going back to last week, they had multiple drives where they were 3rd down and 4, 3rd down and 3, 3rd down and 5, a 3rd down and 9, and just couldn't make connections. So we'll see what they do here.
Absolutely.
Had a couple of errant throws, a couple of drop passes, so a little bit of everything. Those are crucial. 3rd down and shorts, trying to keep drives alive. Drive killers. Delavu will throw. This time it's on target, caught by Bailey across the 35. Further into Garner Hayfield Ventura territory at the 33. So first time on 3rd down in this game, and the Indians make that connection.
Again, looking through the air, it is looking good right now. Wide open there on the sideline. Perfect play, perfect route to be able to get it and deliver it over to the sideline and get the first down. Again, I think they're going to keep running the ball to keep a balance in here, but, man, that passing is looking good.
We'll see if the Cardinals will adjust defensively. 8:51 to play in the opening quarter. Forest City has controlled the football since the start. They have driven the field at the GHV 33. Delavu under center. He's got 2 in the backfield. He's going to hand it off to Wilson. Wilson looking for running room and just hasn't had a whole lot so far. That has been the stinginess of the GHV defense this year, has been stopping the run. That's one of the reasons why they were in the game for such a long time throughout the entire game with West Hancock, because well, that's what West Hancock likes to do. They like to run the football, and GHV has had success defensively there, stopping the run.
Absolutely. Like you mentioned, they've got more tackles than Forest City does this year, and it's showing right now that they are good at swarming to the ball, wrapping up, and bringing the ball carrier down.
A 1-yard gain for Wilson on first down. It's 2nd down and 9 with 8 minutes to play here in the opening quarter. Delavu under center at the GHV 32-yard line. He'll take the snap. He's going to roll out. He's going to throw. Looking for the home run ball to the end zone. It is in and out of the hands of Sopko in the end zone. A better play by Lucas Kral, the multi-sport star for GHV. He saved a touchdown for the Cardinals.
I was going to say, that was a great play by the defensive back right there. Just a perfect hand placement. He didn't really have a great look on the ball, but to be able to get the hand up there right at the perfect timing made it really difficult to be able to get a catch out of that, and really got a hand on it to block it away.
And you're probably looking more at eyes there in that situation. Is that what those cornerbacks are kind of looking at there?
You do a little bit of eyes and really mostly hands. So the second those hands go up, that means your hands have to go up. And that's usually the biggest signal.
And Kral makes a great play to set up 3rd down and 9 for the Indians. 4-down territory, I would assume. They're going to throw a little quick out. It's caught. Not enough for a first down, but it's going to set up a 4th down and manageable here. Carson Hall makes the play at about the 26.
And a good catch, too. Got hit right away. So really he kind of double clutched it there for a second, but I don't blame him when he gets hit immediately. So good catch by Carson there.
Up to the 27-yard line. Forest City will have 4th down and short from the 27. They've got to get to the 23, across the 23. Actually, not even quite to the 23 for a first down, but if you get all the way to the 23, you're going to have plenty enough for a first down. Got to get at least past the 24-yard line. Delavu under center. He's got receivers on either side, a couple of running backs in the backfield. He will throw on 4th down and short, pitches it off to Wilson. Wilson's got a lot of gain to try to make up, to try to get the first down. Still on his feet, breaks a couple of tackles. He's not going to get there. Actually going to lose a yard on the pitch out, and the GHV defense is going to hold. So 4A City drives the field, but the Indians are unable to do anything with it as they come up short on 4th down and about 4 to go. And it looks like GHV will take over offensively.
Yeah, again, like we talked about, GHV did a great job of the entire defense swarming to the ball. He had about 5-6 guys right around him right there when he got it. So, unfortunately, he seemed like the most open guy too, and, now it's going to be in GHV's hands on offense.
All right, we'll see the Cardinals offense for the first time as senior Lane Gakin will come out, and we'll get to see the 4A City defense trying to make a stop. This GHV offense put up some points last week, 21-14 against Central Springs, but really have been baking on their defense this year in 4A City. Going to have to try to find some stops defensively themselves. Under center, they're going to hand it off their bread and butter. That's Lucas Krull to start off, and he's going to find about 3 or 4 on first down. They like to go to Krull all game long. 74 carries coming into tonight. His 75th carry there. He gains, I would say, about 4 yards on first down. Over 345 yards, averaging about 4.5 yards per carry this season is the senior Krull.
Yeah, you're really going to see two very different offenses, almost opposites, as far as Garner consistently running the ball, with Forest City having a little bit more luck through the air.
6:31 to play in the opening quarter. Under center, Brock Good is going to make the stop there for the Indians. He's got help from Donchi and Peter Wilson as Krull carries again on second down. And that'll bring third down and manageable here for GHV as Krull gains a couple of more. He gets knocked down at about the 34-yard line. It'll be about third down and 3 for GHV here on their opening drive. Indians picked up multiple first downs, drove the field. Now GHV trying to do the same after stopping the Indians on first down. They're going to pitch it out to Krull on the outside, trying to set an edge, and he's not going to get there. He's going to come up short by maybe about 1.5 yards, so a good job by the Indians defense as Ryan Bailey and Luke Kearney are there for the Indians to make the stop just across the 35 to the 36, and it appears the GHV punt crew is coming on. As 4th down and 1 here and way too early in the game to try to gamble in your own territory.
Yeah, I think that must be what Garner's thinking right now, is to try and avoid, giving the Indians really good territory or, good position on the field. So I wouldn't be surprised, though, too, if we do see some sort of trickery right here with it being this short.
Ben Fox is the Cardinals punter, and he will boot this one away. It's an end-over-end kick, and it is going to be taken by bobbled, now taken by Carson Hall. He's through a couple of defenders, and he'll fall down at about the 33. I think a little bit of indecision there by Hall, as originally it looked like he was going to catch it, then he let it drop, and then once the football's on the ground, you never know where that thing's going.
No, definitely not. And, I mean, on the other side of the field, you had Ryan Bailey in the back also, kind of faking a return on his side. So Carson actually did have a pretty good lane there. If he would have had a clean catch, he might have had a pretty open right side of the field to be able to run down.
Well, the Indians started their first drive at their own 27, now starting the second drive at their own 32. We'll see what they can do with this one with 5:07 to play in the opening quarter. Dillevue under center after the defense did their job. And they're going to hand it off to Kearney, and Kearney's going to take it for a few. So the Indians try a little bit something different there. A lot of their running so far has just been kind of hand off to your tailback and see what he can do. That time the Indians go with the dive there up the middle by Kearney, who is listed as a tight end, but in that situation playing more like a fullback.
Right. And really that's the best run of, the day for the Indians so far, obviously shortly into the first quarter. But, yeah, good to see that they can penetrate the defensive line a little bit more and gain some yards.
4-yard pickup at second down and 6 with 4:35 to play here in the opening quarter. Dillevue will look over at the sideline. Now he'll take the snap, and Peter Wilson will take the handoff this time. He'll have a couple. And they might have only given him one. It appears they only gave him 1 yard from the 36 to the 37 to make it third down and about 5 now for 4A City. They've gone run. You can only imagine the way the pass game is going so far, especially on third down and 5. Indians probably going to the air here.
I would think so. Now, the question is, I'm sure Garner knows it's coming too. So what are they going to play, or what adjustment have they made to make sure that they don't let that pass get completed?
The Indians will send one receiver to the far side, one receiver to the near side. They've got Kearney in that fullback position, Peter Wilson in the backfield. Tied into the game on the right side. They're going to send Peter Wilson out. They're going to fake that, now throw it to the sticks. It's caught by Carson Hall at midfield. He is loose. 35-30, 25-20, 15-10. He is not going to be catched as he's into the end zone for a touchdown. 4A City faked that little pitch out to the running back that they ran last time on fourth down. And this time they got Carson Hall streaking down the sidelines, and it was just a foot race to the end zone that Carson Hall wins, and the Indians are on the board at the 3:39 mark here in the opening quarter. Go Big Red as the Indians score for the first time.
What a play by Carson Hall. I mean, holy cow. Great catch along the sideline and just barely got to tiptoe to be able to stay in bounds and then just turned on the burners to take it into the touchdown. I mean, man, what a play.
Indians will have Harms to hold high snap, but it gets down and it is up and it is good. There by Sopko, and a late flag comes in. The flag came in after the kick went through. I'm not sure, did somebody run into Sopko? I mean, that's the only thing I can think of.
That's what I'm thinking, too. It seems like Forest City's happy about it.
Yeah. It's either got to be a dead ball penalty or it's got to be running into Sopko. I missed that part. I was watching the football go through. They did talk to the Forest City sidelines, and it is a personal foul against GHV that I'm guessing Forest City will take the PAT. 3:39, actually, it might run on the kickoff. 3:39 to play here in the opening quarter. It's 7-0 Indians, and we will take 1 minute, come back for that kickoff here in 1 minute. This is Indian football from Koloff Media Sports.
NIAC is proud to help support North Iowa athletes. Working hard and being part of a team is a great way to learn lessons for life, and learning is what NIAC is all about, beginning with high school juniors and seniors who can start building college credits now for free. Learn more at niac.edu.
NSB Bank wishes the Indians good luck. For the past 90 years, NSB Bank has provided the latest financial products and services with a community touch by local decision makers. Stop into your NSB branch location in Titanca, Forest City, Thompson, Mason City, or Northwood. NSB Bank, we're here for you. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
Welcome back here on KIOW, live at KIOW.com. So as we figured, the kickoff will be moved up as the penalty was assessed on the kickoff. So Forest City will kick from the GHV 45-yard line. Ty Sopko does have a couple of touchbacks this year, and I would assume if he wanted to be, likely would be his third of the season. We'll see. Maybe Forest City wants to keep the football in play and try to trap Garner even further down than the 20-yard line. We'll see what they decide to do here as this one is kicked. No, it's going to go well through the back of the end zone as Sopko was trying to do that. It will be the third touchback of the season for Ty Sopko, the Indians kicker, and so that will send GHV to the 20-yard line, where it'll be first down and 10 Cardinals. Forest City defense 3 and out their first time up. Looked pretty good, got those big stops when they needed to. What do you want to see here on the second drive?
I think you got to see the same thing, and I don't think Garner's going to change anything as far as going to rely on the run. And so what that really means for this defense is continuing to have disciplined gap assignments, making the tackles, wrapping up, and then swarming to the ball as well. So hope to keep seeing that really this drive.
Cardinals will set up shop at their own 20-yard line. 7-0 Indians, 3:39 to play opening quarter, and it's going to be run up the middle. And a quick stop there by the Indians, as GHV has kept the ball on the ground every play so far. Gain of about 1.5, maybe 2. I will give them 2 on the play to the 22-yard line. Moritz, the fullback, on his first carry of the ball game. Moritz, 22 carries now with that one this year, 21 coming into tonight, 82 yards. So we mentioned I like to go a little fullback dive with Moritz that you saw there. They'll line up in the eye again, and they will hand it off this time to Kral on the right side. He is trapped in the backfield, but he gets out of it, looking for the sidelines, and he will get away there. It looks like a penalty.
Flag down.
Yeah, a penalty marker in the backfield, and that usually is in the area of holding.
Yeah, it looks like it. I couldn't necessarily tell from my end, but I feel like that's just got to be what it was. I mean, whenever you see that running back bounce outside like that, there's always that caution of it because those offensive linemen have to let go, and it looks like that is what happened. It is holding against GHV, and they're going to say that the holding penalty came at the line of scrimmage of the 22-yard line, so it'll be marked down to the 12. That's a 10-yard penalty from the spots, if that's where they threw the flag at. Actually, it looks closer to the 11. It's the ball's between the 11 and the 12. So the penalty coming between the 22 and the 21-yard line, so it's second down and long. GHV's got to get to the 30-yard line. Of course, they started at the 20, so they got to get to the 30 for a first down. So you're looking at about 21 and a half to 22 yards here for GHV on second down. 2:56 to play opening quarter at 7-0 Indians. 10 on the play clock. They are going to hand the ball off up the middle, and that's going to get them a couple, but still long ways away from the 30-yard line. Yeah, and I think they maybe tried to catch Forest City off guard a little bit, put 3 receivers out wide, so it made it definitely seem like a pass was coming. So I think they wanted to try and maybe catch him off guard there to get a run up the middle and get some more yards. But I feel like now it's kind of got to be those passing downs. And again, Garner or GHV not too keen to doing that, but let's see what they can make happen.
38 passes this year, 17 of them complete by Gakin. He has 3 touchdowns through the air and 3 interceptions thrown this year. It's 3rd down and about 16. Pardon me, 3rd down and 14 from the 16. He is going to roll out. He is going to throw. And he does have a man open at the 25-30. First down yardage and more, 45-40. And finally brought down. That's that's Gage Cones. Cones, his 5th reception of the year. But on his 4 previous receptions, had over 100 yards receiving. So when they go to the air, they look for the big plays, and they find a big play there all the way up to the 42-yard line.
They do, and it's kind of natural for the defense to kind of fall asleep when you're constantly seeing run, and then when they do roll out to pass, it almost like you forget that they can do it, and then everyone's behind you, and then it's too late. He really had 2 guys wide open on that play.
Yeah, 36-yard reception for the first down. And now it's 1st down and 10. Here's Krall. He is loose. Krall, midfield. He is gone at the 40, 30. Still on his feet, and nobody is going to catch him. When Lucas Krall is in space, there is not a person on this planet that is going to catch up to Lucas Krall. He is gone. Shot out like a cannon.
He did and broke through quite a few tackles. I mean, at least 3 going through there. And that's, again, one of the key things that needs to happen for this Forest City defense is they have to wrap up. They have to be sure tacklers because otherwise, obviously, you're going to get beat like we just saw right there.
Yeah, Lucas Krall just shot out of the cannon on the right side. He broke 1 or 2 tackles, and there was nobody catching up to him. I'm going to call that 58 yards. They're about the 42-yard line. So 58-yard scamper by Lucas Krall. He will find the end zone for a 4th time this season. That's the longest one of the season for Krall. And the PAT is up, and it is good. GHV goes a couple of different guys to kick PATs. This time it's Nicholas Saroslik, and he puts it through. We are knotted up at 7-7 with 1:32 to play here in the opening quarter. Kickoff is next.
Higher Spear Insurance strives to be your all-encompassing agency, protecting everything from your home and auto to your farm, crop, and health. Find us in our 3 locations, Titonka, Forest City, and Thompson. Call 515-928-2085 or learn ways to protect your future at higherspearins.com.
Grow Electric in Lake Mills is proud to support area athletics and proud to serve our new and returning customers. To get started on any electrical project, big or small, call 641-592-8282. Good luck, athletes, from Grow Electric in Lake Mills.
Welcome back here on KIOW, live at KIOW.com. Lucas Krall, one of the top wrestlers in the state of Iowa, and showing off his speed there as he races to the sideline, or actually races through the middle of the Indians' defense and right through the middle of the field down to the end zone. 58 yards for the touchdown. 1:32 to play, opening quarter at 7-7. Cardinals and Indians, we thought we'd get a good one here on homecoming, and so far it has been just that. As Roslick with the ball teed up at the GHV 40, and he will kick it down. It's a short kick, and it'll be fielded by the Indians at the 25-yard line by Deegan Moore. He beats Stearns, and he will be brought down as maybe missed a little something there, but still was able to get across the 20 to about the 23-yard line. So brought down at about the 23-yard line. 1:27 to play here in the opening quarter. We've already got the Let's Play chances. I believe that was a Let's Play golf chant.
Really?
Yeah, I think that's probably the first time I've ever heard that chant from the GHV, and now the Indians are coming back with Let's Play basketball. This is fun. This is Garner and Forest City. It's a good rivalry. Students get into it. Players obviously out there battling. Indians going to go with the jet sweep left side to Sopko, and he is drugged down by Moritz in the backfield. The Indians are going to have their biggest loss of the day as Sopko going with that jet sweep motion from right to left across the formation, and he is drugged down behind the 20-yard line at about the 18. Forest City will have 2nd down and long.
Yeah, really tough play right there. I mean, Garner again, or GHV's been playing really well against the run, which again had a run right there. I think they really wanted to try and get it outside more with their receiver and see what happened. But once again, GHV's defense steps right up.
In the gun is Delavu. He's got a running back with him. 2 receivers here to the near side. A couple of tight ends in the game. Delavu's looking to throw. He's got plenty of time all day to survey. He finds Sopko, and it's in and out of Sopko's hands at the 25-yard line. Sopko looks right down at the hands as that one was in and out at about the 25, and that's one of those. I mean, everybody is, I think, receivers are guilty at that time. I think he was looking upfield before he secured that football.
Yep, exactly. I think he was really looking at where he was going to make his next move and took his eyes off the ball for that one split second, and that's where you can obviously miss it and have it go through your hands. But he did have a good move on there. If he was able to actually secure it, I think he did have plenty of room to get a first down and then some.
How about that protection by the offensive line? You finally get the offensive line as close to full strength as you've been all year. And they gave it Delavu all day, and you give a good quarterback all day to survey. Now GHV is going to bring it in. It's a screenplay. Wilson's got it. He is loose. 25, and we're going to have roughing the passer as well, as Peter Wilson was brought down to the 25. Delavu was thrown into the turf after he released the football on the screenplay. So I believe we'll have a roughing the passer against the Cardinals, which will add on to the end of the run and give 4A City the 15 yards. It is. That's exactly what it was. It's the only thing that can be in that situation.
Right.
As Delavu drug down, roughing the passer, as Peter Wilson, I think, got to the 25. No, they put him at the 26. Okay, we'll take that. That's an extra yard. So it'll be 15 yards from the 26.
Yeah, and that really saved him right there. I mean, well-executed screenplay. The defensive line definitely fell for it, came right up onto Delavu there, but then the issue was the downfield blocking, really.
Yeah.
The linemen weren't able to get to the linebackers in that next level, and they really just broke right through there to take Wilson down. So thankfully that penalty really kind of saved that play and got the Indians out of a tough situation.
Hey, we've got to change. Something's wrong with Delavu as he's on the sidelines, and Hunter Harms just ran in. I saw Harms get up from the back of the bench or back area by the bench, and he goes sprinting into the game. So 4A City will have to have a change at quarterback here in the middle of this drive as junior Hunter Harms is in to take the snap under center. Delavu to the sidelines. He's got his helmet back, so hopefully that's a good sign. He'll hand it off to Wilson. Wilson's got running room. He shakes and bakes 45 into midfield. Peter Wilson is going to pick up about 9 on a good play, and that was all done there by the running back.
Absolutely. Great run right there. Finally good to see some yards through the ground for Forest City right there, and that's got to feel good for Peter, too, to be able to make some moves, feel a bit more confident now running the ball downfield.
And that will be the end of the first quarter. We have played one quarter of football. It's the Indians 7. It's the Cardinals 7. We're in a good one here in Homecoming 2024. Looks like Delavu's good to go. We'll find out as the quarter flips over. The ball won't have to move much as the ball is right at midfield. Just flip the side of the field that it's on. But here we go. Second quarter of action will come next. It's the Indians and the Cardinals. This is Indian football from Koloff Media Sports.
Shooters in Forest City is under new ownership. Hello, I'm Leah. I'm one of the new owners. Have you seen our weekly specials on our Facebook page? Posted every Friday. If not, give us a follow.
We're committed to the same great service you have come to know and expect. So come on in and give us a try today.
Holland Contracting in Forest City for earth moving, large or small building projects, farm drainage, directional drilling, demolition, tire and automotive shop, and more. Call the construction experts at 641-585-2231. Holland Contracting in Forest City, dedicated to making the region a better place, one project at a time.
Advanced Door Systems of Forest City. Advanced Door Systems is your Raynor and CHI overhead door dealer. They also service any make or model of overhead door. Call 641-585-1900 or see them online at ads-doors.com. Advanced Door Systems, the right door, the right way.
Welcome back here on KIOW and live at KIOW.com. So through some investigative journalism there by the color guy, Tanner Thompson, we found out that I didn't even see that Delavu's helmet came off. So, of course, you have to sit out one play with your helmet coming off. And now Peter Wilson quickly runs to the sidelines, and he is having a chat with athletic trainer Emily Putney. And actually, they're looking through equipment bags, so maybe an equipment problem now with Wilson. So back-to-back issues here for the Indians as Peter Wilson sits on the bench. James Hagan will be in at running back for the first time, and Delavu is back in after his one-play penalty for his helmet coming off, we believe. At midfield, it's 2nd down and 1 for the Indians. Delavu under center. He tries the hard count. They don't bite. Now he'll roll. He's got all day to throw again. He across the middle. It is nearly intercepted.
Man, I thought he had him too there. That's what I was thinking, is that you got to go to Thorson right there going across the field. But I almost think that defensive back was maybe teasing it a little bit, trying to get him to throw to be able to cut in front of it, because he really did make a good play.
Well, Gage Cones has 3 interceptions this season. 3 of the 4 interceptions for GHV have come on the hands of Gage Cones. So he obviously is very good at what he does. That time, though, he drops the interception and would have had a lot of turf in front of him to run.
Oh, yeah.
Would have ran for a long time. Luckily for Forest City, he misses. Now it's 3rd down and 1 at midfield for the Indians. They try the hard count again. GHV's been watching the film, especially the Eagle Grove film. Indians go to Kearney up the middle. He's still trucking. 45-40, still on his feet. Down inside the 40-yard line, Luke Kearney keeps the legs a-turning, and he's got more than the 1 yard he needed.
Man, Kearney is just always bringing the energy. I love it. I love it. And you can tell in the way he just ran that football that he had energy and those legs pushing through, tacklers, just giving the team what they need and then pumping up the sideline to get everybody going. I love it.
There is not one person in this entire vicinity of the Forest City football field that has more energy.
Absolutely.
Especially the little kids that are running around up there playing football. Of course, they're burning out all their energy, but Kearney's got them dominated as well.
Absolutely.
The Indians have 1st down and 10 at the GHV 40. Delavu under center. Wilson's back in there. No, that's James Hagan still in there. He'll take the carry across the 40. Still on his feet, and he keeps moving as he gets a little push, friendly push from his teammate in Corey Thorson. And James Hagan's going to find 3 or 4 here on 1st down, and the Indians will have 2nd down. And about 6 or so coming up. 11 minutes to play here in the 2nd quarter. It's 7-7.
Yeah, moving the ball now on the ground. That's good to see for Forest City, starting to be able to create a balance. I wouldn't be surprised if we start to see some play action again coming out of this and maybe getting the ball downfield again.
At the 38, 37-yard line, Forest City will have 2nd down and about 7 yards to go, 10:45 to play. Delavu in the gun. He'll look to throw, and he'll dump it off to James Hagan in and out of his hands. It's a forward pass. The ball's not live, but, of course, James Hagan playing till the whistle blows, and he was looking for the live football. So was Carter Dadema, the linebacker for GHV, and the ball falls incomplete. It'll be 3rd down and long now for the Indians. 3rd down and 7 from the GHV 37. Just another one of those plays where running back, quarterback maybe not in the right area. The ball falls short.
And I think a lineman really, not because of their fault, but I think kind of got in the way with that, where I think might have nicked a shoulder pad there too, which obviously makes it a tough catch for Hagan. So
Delavu takes the snap. He'll throw on 3rd down and 7. He rolls out. Now he's going to throw. He's got a wide open receiver across the middle, and it's a little bit behind him and unable to complete it. Ryan Bailey was about as open as he could get as Gage Cones was nowhere near him. But the ball is going to fall behind Bailey, and Bailey unable to get to it to make it 4th down and 7, and probably in an area where the Indians, maybe you play a field possession game, but the way your offense is clicking, you've had a ton of open receivers.
Right.
Probably go for this one.
I kind of think so too. I mean, even if you do try to play the field position game, what are the odds you really get a punt down inside of the 10 or inside of the 20? More than likely you're going to get a touchback. So, yeah, it looks like they are going to go for it here, and hopefully they can convert.
And timeout called by Coach Anderson, so he at least shows his hand, doesn't quite show his hand there as he lines up at the 37-yard line, sees what GHV lines up in defensively, and then quickly calls a timeout with 10:14 or 10:12. Is that clock running?
It is.
Clock is running there, boys. So we'll have to reset that. As I looked over, I was looking over to see if the timeout clock running. All of a sudden, I see the game clock running.
Right.
So they'll put it to 10:25. So about, we almost had 20 seconds or so run off that clock. So they'll put it back to 10:25. The white hat agrees that that's where we should be at. Good officiating crew here with us. Our head referee tonight is Mr. Chris Kangas. The umpire is Bob Hewitt. Ryan Dolan is the head linesman. Tim Kangas is the other linesman. Corey Cantrell is the back judge tonight, our referees. All right, out of the timeout, Forest City again will line up offensively, so it looks to be a dice roll here for 4A City and head coach Tyler Anderson, the offensive coordinator, he's calling the plays. 10:25 to play, second quarter, 7-7. It's 4th down and 7. Indians play action. Dillevue will throw. He's got a receiver open. It's caught by Supko, 25, inside the 25, near the 20. You saw that one right away.
Absolutely. I mean, they've run that play a few times already. I mean, out on the outsides, it seems like that pass is open. And, I mean, they get it again. Great throw, great catch, clean play. Love to see that, and huge play on 4th down like that. Now the key is let's get a score out of it.
Corey Thorson hauls it in at the 21-yard line. 4A City will have 1st down and 10 from the GHV 21 with under 10 minutes to play now until halftime. One receiver on the right side, that was Supko. One receiver on the other side, that's Hall. It is James Hagen on the carry for the Indians. And he is brought down. I don't think we've seen, have we seen, there goes, I was just going to say, I don't think we've seen Peter Wilson back out since he was over working on his equipment. But he is back now, and he runs out of the field, and he'll trade out with James Hagen.
Maybe a wrap on the arm, maybe is what it was.
Okay.
One of those tough things with a turf field. I mean, you always get cuts on your elbows, or really I should say scrapes. So it might have been something like that too. But good to see him back in. And
of course, you can't have those open wounds. The officials will get you off the field. Even if you try to cover it up, they'll eventually find it, especially with 4 City wearing the white pants. Don't have the white jerseys to quite see as much. But, oh, bad snap. Dillevue falls on it. He is hammered in the backfield. Snap away from Dillevue, and he gets smashed there by Parker Moritz, as he put a good hitting on Dillevue all the way back at the 25-yard line.
Yeah, tough to – I feel like most of that might have been on Dillevue there. It was a little bit off center, but, again, it might have been one of those situations, taking the eyes off the ball a little bit, trying to get the handoff there. And, again, not something you want to be able to see, but let's see again if we can go through the air and get this 1st down.
3rd down and long now for the Indians, as they'll have 3rd down and 14, and they got to hurry to the line. 6 on the play clock. Now 4 on the play clock. Dillevue still hasn't snapped it. 2, he'll snap it with 1. He'll pitch now to Carson Hall, and Hall will find a few yards and try to punch forward. That seems like, in my unofficial opinion, like a play where you already know you're going for it on 4th down. So let's not try to go for a home run ball on 3rd down. Let's pick up a few yards, make it a manageable 4th down.
Right. I think that was definitely in the mindset. And there's still definitely a good chance that bubble play can create a 1st down if you get the right blocking going, you get the right speed out on the outside. But I think definitely their thought was we're going to go for it anyway. So even if we get halfway, that puts us in a good spot.
Didn't quite get that. They got about 5 yards. They'll have 10 more to go, and we've got a whistle, as it appears we're going to have a timeout for a City. So the Indians will use their second charge timeout. 7:53 to play till halftime. It's the Indians 7, the Cardinals 7. We'll take this one. We'll come back in a minute for more high school football. This is Indian Football from Koloff Media Sports.
Hi, Olivia here from Everyday Nutrition in Forest City, offering meal replacement shakes and energizing drinks. Our drinks offer the everyday energy and vitamins you need without the dreadful crash you get from the other drinks. But that's not all. Not sure where to start with your wellness journey? Inquire on Facebook or stop by today.
Malin Egg Service of Forest City is a proud supporter of Forest City High School athletics. Nate Malin is with you from the word go. From planting to harvest, you can count on Nate. Contact him today in Forest City at 641-860-1712. Nate will help you put the right seed on your acres. 641-860-1712.
Welcome back here on KIOW as we're ongoing their discussion. Maybe 4A City tries a long field goal here. They will not, as it looked like Hunter Harms was out kind of in that discussion area. He's the Indians' holder, so maybe there was a conversation, but they decided to go for it. It's 4th down and 10, and Dillevue will take the snap. He looks to throw. Dillevue still looking. He's got Corey Thorson, and it's caught. A sliding catch. Did he have enough? It's going to be really close. It's right at the sticks. Did he get enough to get there? No, they're going to say it's 4th down. The referee has already pointed GHV's way. And now he stops. Now they're going to check on it. The referee, I feel like that was a little bit ahead of the game there. He just turned around and said GHV football.
Right.
But you at least got to take a look at it that close to the sticks. They will bring the sticks out. You're looking from across the field.
Yep.
All right, they are going to bring the officials out now. As the official, the ball is on the near sidelines. The sticks are on the far sidelines, and the official was trying to eyeball it from across the field. And then he stops it and says, "My timeout." We are going to take a look at that. I mean, eyes can be pretty good, but that
Right. It is literally the complete other side of the field.
What are we talking about here?
Yeah, exactly.
As the ball is inside the numbers here on the near side, and we're going to eyeball it from these far sidelines.
I tell you what, I love this part of football right here.
The suspense.
Yes, so much suspense.
Will
How
it be
close
enough?
it's going to be?
Will it be enough for a first down? Everybody waiting in suspense. They're watching. The chain gets pulled out, and it is about a foot, not even a foot.
Not even.
Maybe a nose of the football short.
Wow.
Corey Thorson, of course, it's not the NFL, so he slides down. He is down there, but he had to slide to secure that football.
Right.
Otherwise, he's bending down to try to stay on his feet, and then you have a chance of dropping it. So he makes a sliding like an outfielder will as he slides on his butt across that 10-yard line to try to make that play. The Indians needed all the way to the 10-yard line, and they got just short of the 10-yard line, between the 10 and 11, closer to the 11-yard line. So that's where GHV will take over first down at 10. Tough play for the Indians.
Right. And it's one of those tough things where Dillaboo didn't really have much room to throw it anywhere else. If he would have let him too much, he would have actually probably thrown it right to the defender. So
in the eye, here's GHV. They'll hand it off, and it is Krall with running room across the 15. And Krall is going to have quite a bit here on first down across the 15 to about the 17-yard line. So give him about 6 on first down. Willie Holmes makes a stop for the Indians. Second down and about 4 yards to go here for GHV. Maybe a long 4 and 5. 7:13 to play till halftime. It's a 7-7 football game. GHV, are they trying to change the play? The holder, or pardon me, the snapper, Dominic Holder, turn around looking at Dakin. They're going to hand it off to the fullback, dive up the middle, and he'll get to the 20, across the 20, maybe the 21. They need to get across the 21
short.
for a first down.
Oh, okay.
They're going to eyeball it again and give it to him this time. So the clock will stop long enough to move the chains. Now it will tick. 6:42 to play till halftime. GHV trying to march the field to take the lead for the first time tonight. Indians scored first on a long pass play. Cardinals answered back with a 58-yard touchdown run by Lucas Krall. They'll break the huddle at the 21-yard line. It is first down and 10 Cardinals. Under center with just one running back. They'll take the snap. Gakin drops back. He's being chased by James Hagan. Hagan will put pressure on him, but it's caught by Zaroslik across the 25 at the 27-yard line. So Gakin rolls out. He is 2 for 2 passing tonight. Makes another great play there to Zaroslik.
Yeah, that one little jab step forward by Gakin there is what really, I think, kind of set James Hagan back a little bit. Otherwise, I felt like James Hagan was going to be there right away to get that sack. So good play by the quarterback.
And a good job by Hagan not to follow through and finish that hit on the quarterback. We've already seen roughing the passer called, so we know that the officials are going to call that. And it is a handoff to Krall, and he is swarmed in the backfield. The Indians' defense is able to get him this time as he's brought down immediately. That's Gavin Litzen, the Indians' defensive lineman.
Great play. Great play. They had multiple guys in the backfield on that one. I feel like they've got plenty of opportunities to be able to keep doing that if they can just line up right and get there.
Gavin Litzen makes a great play. It'll be third down and 5 here for the Cardinals. 5:45 to play till halftime. 7-7 your score, as you see in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen if you're joining us via the video stream. Otherwise, if you're joining us on the radio, we'll let you know about that. 7-7. They're going to pitch it out, looking for yardage. Not going to have enough as the Indians swarm at the line of scrimmage. It's fourth down and 5. Cohn's got that carry. Cohn's 11th rush of the year, averaging about 3 yards per rush. That time he gets nothing as he is stopped at the line of scrimmage. And with 5:11 to play here in the second quarter, the Indians are looking to get the football back and make one last push to take a halftime lead.
Great stop by the defense. That's exactly what you need when you get stopped on fourth down and kills a lot of your momentum. Get the ball right back.
Ben Fox in punt formation. Low snap. He picks it up and he boots it away. It's a loud, high kick, and a fair catch will be called for. Diving to make the play is Carson Hall. Called for a fair catch, and he had a dive to make sure he corralled that one all the way. As Ben Fox got a good leg under that one. That was high into the night sky.
Yeah, thankfully he made that catch. Good play by Carson.
It was a pop fly there for Carson Hall, and he's able to pull it down at the 41-yard line of the Indians. So they'll take over at their own 41 with 4:47 to play until halftime. Our halftime today brought to you by Waldorf University. Waldorf University football team is at home taking on Hastings tomorrow at 1 p.m. at Bullsdorf Field. We'll have the coverage for you right here on KIOW if you're not able to make it, but we encourage you to get to Bullsdorf Field for a 1 o'clock kickoff. We'll talk more about that here in a moment. Indians will hand this one off to Wilson. Wilson makes a cutback. He was going right. He cuts back towards the middle of the field, and he'll pick up about 2 on the play. Good eyes there by Wilson, getting 2 out of nothing.
It was, and that was definitely the lane for him to go to. You know, that outside edge really was shut down right away, so the first thing you got to do is cut up field and see what you can get. And good thing he did get at least a couple.
Under 4:30 to play now until halftime. 7-7 your score for a City and GHV. Indians still trying to figure out what they're going to run here as Dillevue looking towards the sideline. 15 on the play clock. They still got plenty of time. Ran one down to about 2 a little bit ago. Now they've got to probably move here. 8 on the play clock. They got to run up to the line. 5 on the play clock. Now they're at 2, and they'll snap it with 1. And Dillevue's going to take a quarterback sneak to the right side, a quarterback designed run out to the 45-yard line. So he's going to find 2 more yards, and it'll be 3rd down at about 6 upcoming.
Haven't seen that very much.
I want to say,
time?
I really think so.
First time for me, I would say.
I really think so. We have not seen that this year, I don't think.
And there are times, too, I don't want to assume that's what happened. It did look designed, but at the same time, there are times where a play falls apart, the quarterback's the one left with the ball in the hands, and then he's got to do something with it and make a run. So I don't know if that was the case, too.
Yeah, they were having that conversation in the huddle, so maybe they couldn't get everybody on the same page, and Dillevue said, I'm just going to set up a 3rd down here. He will throw. 3rd down and 6, rolls out, has time, has a receiver. It's caught by Kearney. 1st down across midfield. Luke Kearney makes a big play as he pulls it down across midfield for a 1st down. Inside GHV territory at the 47. Kearney's having himself a day.
And bringing the energy again. I love to see it. And again, a great throw, too, by Dillevue right to the chest. I mean, he didn't have to break stride whatsoever, right to the numbers. And that's a perfect play that we needed to get a 1st down.
5th reception of the season for Kearney, averaging about 13 yards per time he catches the football, that time for only about 7 or 8. Dillevue will take the snap this time. He will hand it off to Peter Wilson. Wilson's got blockers. 45-40. Inside the 40. He's going to have 9 or 8. We'll call it 8 on 1st down and 2nd down and short for the Indians.
Great cut, and again, you know, the key thing, too, is just continuing to run the ball, because you will get those times just like that where those lanes open up, you make a couple good cuts, and have a good run out of it. So it's good to see that happening on the running side.
Clock becoming the enemy here of the Indians. 2:21 to play until halftime. They are 39 yards from pay dirt. But for right now, they got a 2nd down and 2 here as we're closing in on 2 minutes until halftime. Dillevue's in the gun. He'll do a hard count. Now he'll take the snap. He'll drop back to pass. Has all day again. Going for the home run ball to Sopko, and it is incomplete. Actually, that was intended for Carson Hall as it's knocked away by Zaroslik and Cones there in defense. I thought he was going to go to Sopko, who was going to the end zone. Instead, he goes to Hall, who is at about the 10-yard line, and the ball gets broken up again.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, going for Sopko closer, you know, an easier throw, first of all, by being closer to the middle of the field. I think really trying to get it out to Carson Hall is what made it tough. That's a long throw to be able to get it to his outside shoulder over the defender. So, yeah, Carson I thought was the one to go to right there. But the nice thing is it's 3rd and short, so they still got a lot of options.
Under 2 to play until halftime. Clock stops with the incomplete pass. Maybe the Indians will run and try to pick up a 1st down. The snap is low again, and Dillevue just has to pick it up, and he's brought down to the 41. Snap was low. Dillevue just had to pick it up. He was intending to give it off to Wilson, but by the time the ball's on the ground, like you said earlier, quarterback is left of the football, and he's got to try to make something out of nothing. And instead he loses a yard. It'll be 4th down and 3 now for the Indians. Ball's at the 47. They got to get to the 37. At the 40, excuse me, they got to get to the 37.
Yeah, definitely disappointing with that one. And, yeah, that one was not a designed run. Again, I can say pretty confidently on that one it was not. So
definitely not. That was going to Peter Wilson
I think
the
they
whole
might
way.
be trying to run out the clock now at this point. I think that's what they're going for.
All right, they're going to take the play clock down to the end here, and it looks like they will call timeout as the play clock expires. Final Indian timeout of the half. 1:13 to play until halftime. We'll take a break. We'll come back in a minute for more high school football here on KIOW.
Hey, this is Tom McGregor, the new manager of Forest City Auto Center and Chrysler of Forest City. Stop by the Forest City Auto Center on the north side for Chevy and GM products, and Chrysler on the south side for Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram products. Our stores proudly support the Indians.
Lucas Woogie is your locally owned Cornelius Seed dealer here in Forest City. Cornelius Seed, an Iowa-based company, has a full line of corn and soybeans. Call Lucas today at 641-860-0595. Plant it, profit. Cornelius Seed from Lucas Woogie.
Welcome back here on KIOW and live at KIOW.com. It's 4th down and 3 for the Indians, 1:13 to play. And the Indians quickly running another man on here coming out of a timeout as Aiden Frost quickly runs onto the field at the wide receiver position. And Dillevou's actually far enough away. He might try to boot this one, and he will. So Dillevou will punt and try to set GHV up with a long field, and instead it goes into the end zone and out the back of the end zone. So the Cardinals will get the football back with 1:06. This is an offense that is not designed to drive the length of the field in a minute 6.
Right, and I think that's what Coach Anderson was thinking about. You know, it's like, hey, if we do give the ball back to them
at the
40, it's a lot easier for them to be able to drive it in for a touchdown compared to the 20, which is where they're going to be now. Again, running the ball is really their, repertoire, and, being able to go 80 yards in a minute is pretty tough to do if you're running the ball.
One good thing that the Cardinals have on their side is Lucas Kral. He can get loose anytime. And the other thing is they're 2 for 2. Look out now with the Cardinals, 2 for 2 through the air so far today. We'll see what they decide to do with 1:06 to play until halftime, 7-7 ball game. And they are going to hand it off, and it is going to be Kral, I believe, brought down at the 24-yard line as the Indians will get there with Luke Kearney, with Gabe Kozma as well. And GHV and actually they don't have any time. I don't think they have any timeouts left either.
It doesn't look like it.
I don't remember the Cardinals using any yet, though.
I
don't know if they were even given any as far as a scoreboard-wise. I don't think they've used one yet.
Right, that's what I was thinking.
30 seconds. They're not going to use any here. They're going to go to halftime. And Les Kral breaks one off. No, it's going to be Moritz. Moritz will get a couple of yards. He's brought down there by Kozma. For the Indians, Brock Good is there as well, and that should take us to halftime. We thought it was going to be a good one. It has so far been a good football game as we tick down towards the halftime clock, brought to you by Waldorf University. We are going to go to the halftime break. It is the Indians 7, it is the Cardinals 7 here on Homecoming 2024. And that will be the end of the half. The ball is picked up at the 27-yard line for those of you that are playing the contest where the football ends each quarter. The 27-yard line is where that ball will sit on the east 27-yard line. So if you have that at home, you have won whatever you've won. Well, we've got 20 minutes on the clock. We're going to come back here in a moment. We'll chat about this for just a couple of minutes, and then we'll flip you over to the Forest City Marching Band for our halftime show here and a little celebration there for the band. 7-7 the score. Indians and Cardinals will come back in a minute and a half.
First Choice Realty is proud to support our community's real estate moves. Summer is here and it's time to find your perfect home for your future. Call one of our trusted real estate agents, Bethany, Barb, Abigail, Mary, or Teresa, 641-585-2404, or visit us at fcrealty.com.
Real man of genius.
I don't know about genius, but we've been called worse. Call Matt, Chuck, or Jake at County Line Seeds, offering DeKalb Asgrow, Whiffles, NK, and Latham products. We strive by turning seeds into opportunity. Give us a call today, 641-581-3300. Now that I think about it, that was kind of catchy.
Wilson Dental is expanding again. Wilson Dental now offering a clinic in Buffalo Center. Check out Wilson Dental now in Buffalo Center to go along with their long-standing tradition in 4A City and also offering services in Garner. Wilson Dental in 4A City, Garner, and now Buffalo Center.
Forest City Ford at the corner of 9 and 69 in Forest City wishes good luck to our local athletes. We look forward to seeing you compete. When you need a vehicle, see us at Forest City Ford, where customers really do send their friends.
Matt Jennings and Troy Hall of Jennings and Hall Financial Group, located at MBT Bank, want to thank our Forest City teams for their hard work and dedication and wish them good luck this season. Best wishes from Matt and Troy at Jennings and Hall Financial Group, located at MBT Bank in Forest City.
Welcome back here on KIOW and live at KIOW.com. Zero Negastall, Tanner Thompson. Well, we were treated to a fantastic first half of football. Back and forth. The Indians, a few missed opportunities, but the Cardinals weren't able to get anything done either.
Right, and really just back and forth, like you said, the whole time. I mean, to be down 7-7 with to be, equal 7-7 with really how much both teams really moved the ball. The defense really just kind of hardened up when it got close, and that made really the big difference. But overall, a great game so far.
Our halftime show brought to you by Waldorf University. Waldorf University in 4A City supports our local athletes and looks forward to helping them further their educations and careers. Find them at waldorf.edu. And we'll flip it over now to the 4A City High School Marching Band, introduced by PA announcer Troy Thompson. Welcome back into the booth as Waldorf University sponsors our halftime show. And we'll take a couple of minutes. We'll come back. We'll talk about what Troy is talking about here at the high school, on the high school field, as the 4A City High School inducted their first class of 2024 Hall of Famers. I think one of them still joining us. They had the ceremony last night. I think one of them still here joining us. Maybe even Bob. I think Bob maybe still be here. But we'll talk about that. Also, homecoming. So you got the king and queen and all the court, all that stuff going on as well. We'll talk about all that and more. We'll come back. Waldorf University halftime show rolls on in 2 minutes. This is Indian football from Koloff Media Sports.
Discover Waldorf University in Forest City, where your passion meets opportunity. With scholarships available up to full tuition, a wide range of athletics, fine arts, and over 35 clubs and organizations, there's something for everyone. Whether on campus or online, experience the support of a community that feels like home. Learn more today at waldorf.edu.
MBT Bank, based in Forest City, with 9 locations across northern Iowa and southern Minnesota to serve you. MBT supports the Forest City Indians, and we look forward to seeing our student athletes compete all year long. Good luck, Indians, from MBT Bank in Forest City.
Discover Waldorf University in Forest City, where your passion meets opportunity. With scholarships available up to full tuition, a wide range of athletics, fine arts, and over 35 clubs and organizations, there's something for everyone. Whether on campus or online, experience the support of a community that feels like home. Learn more today at waldorf.edu.
WCTA is the #1 choice for fiber internet. We offer fast, reliable fiber internet for all your connectivity needs. Our employees are local and live in the communities we serve to provide you with the best customer service experience. WCTA, we are your fiber internet provider.
NIAC is proud to help support North Iowa athletes. Working hard and being part of a team is a great way to learn lessons for life, and learning is what NIAC is all about, beginning with high school juniors and seniors who can start building college credits now for free. Learn more at niac.edu.
NSB Bank wishes the Indians good luck. For the past 90 years, NSB Bank has provided the latest financial products and services with a community touch by local decision makers. Stop into your NSB branch location in Titanca, Forest City, Thompson, Mason City, or Northwood. NSB Bank, we're here for you. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
Welcome back here on KIW, live at KIW.com. Zarin Eggleston with you. Our Waldorf University halftime show continues on as they're talking about the Hall of Fame inductees right now for Forest City Athletic Hall of Fame 2024. They got inducted last night. Of course, Coach Bob Hilmer, everybody knows Coach Hilmer, couldn't be here tonight as Rob Campman walking out to the middle of the field. He is here. Of course, it's hard to miss Rob Campman standing at 6'9", played college basketball for Wichita State and the Shockers. And, of course, the other inductee is Nate Ludwig, who played football at Waldorf after his time here at 4A City. They went on and was a dual-sport athlete at UNI. He ran track, did track, and also played football for UNI. And kind of funny, he went to UNI and really didn't know what he was going to be doing, playing football at UNI, because he went there as a quarterback at 4A City. UNI thought maybe a wide receiver, but then in summer, after spring ball the first time, then comes summertime, let's put you at safety. So he starts doing safety work, but then all of a sudden gets thrown back into wide receiver, but also the possibility of playing quarterback as well. So just all over the field there for UNI, and of course a 2-time high hurdle state champion for the Indians, running the high hurdles down at the state meet. Of course, Rob Campman out there in the middle of the field right now. Of course, everything he's done in his career was the all-time leading scorer at 1 point for 4A City. Anytime you stand at 6'9" and you're athletic and physical, you're going to score a lot of points. And Rob just did that, leading the Indians to the state tournament a couple of times there. And as did Nate Ludwig, went to the state tournament. Of course, Bob Hilmer won the state title for 4A City. A lot of great athletes that went through here, and those three are the first inductees of the Hall of Fame class. Well, Tanner, I know you've been pouring over the stats here in the first half. What kind of stands out to you, these stats here in the first half?
I think really it's interesting to see how much these stats really kind of align with what we would have expected. I mean, as far as looking on the offensive side of the ball, Garner with much more rushing yards at about 88 yards compared to passing yards of 31. And then really flipping that when we look at the Forest City side, where they have 35 yards of rushing, but 195, oh, sorry, that's total offense, 160 yards in the air. And I think that's exactly what we expected a little bit. Was one offense is much more of a run heavy. The other one can definitely rely on the pass a lot more. And we've definitely see that. And still at the same time, both broke off into big plays that led to touchdowns and a tie game. So great game so far, but those are the things that stick out to me most, I think.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Let's take you back through the scoring drives. Forest City got on the board first as the Indians scored early in the first quarter. As Forest City scored about halfway through the first quarter. They took so much time off that first drive that ended up in nothing by the time they got the ball for the second time. Their second drive went 68 yards on 3 plays, took 1 minute and 27 seconds off the clock, and it was a 63-yard pitch and catch from Delavu to Carson Hall. And it was more of like a 20-yard throw, and then Carson Hall with about a 43-yard sprint to the end zone. You talked about that, how impressive that was.
Right, yeah, like I said, he really turned on the burners right there. Barely was able to stay in bounds because it was a pass out towards the sideline, a deep out route, but really took advantage of it, ran it all the way in.
Yeah, no doubt about that. As the homecoming court is being announced right now, Riley Miller, who's a volleyball player for the Indians volleyball team, the Indians center. She was crowned as the homecoming queen this year. Corey Thorson, I believe, hopefully I'm right on that. He's currently in the locker room with the Indians, but I believe he was crowned as the homecoming king. Of course, if I'm wrong on that, my phone will be going off here very shortly. But I believe that's what it was there. Garner Hayfield Ventura, their scoring drive took 2 minutes and 12 seconds off the clock, went 80 yards on 4 plays, and Lucas Kral shot out of a cannon, 58-yard touchdown run, and we were kind of joking about that. He was at the 40, maybe the 35-yard line. I said at that point, I made the call. He was gone. Yep. And some people that maybe watching the video stream saying, hey, he's still got 40 yards to go. But Lucas Kral, once he gets out in space, he is very gone.
Right, and that was a great call by you because he really did. The second he broke through a tackle, right through really the second level of the linebackers, you immediately knew, yep, he was gone. And you were completely right. Flew down the field, tough to catch. The one chance that maybe was from Sopko as a corner deep down the field, but he was too busy obviously focusing on his man and receiver that by that point he turned around and realized it was a run. It was just too late.
Yeah, way too late there, and Kral scampers in from 58 yards out. And here we go. The sirens go off. Both teams return to the field. They will warm up, and we will get ready for the second half. What's that conversation like? Hey, it's 24 minutes of football, and whoever plays the best over the next 24 minutes is going to come out on top.
Yeah, and I think Forest City should really feel good. I mean, for the most part, I feel like they've really controlled this game. They've definitely had better drives, much longer time of possession. I think they can really build off of that, and they've seen that things have been working both in the air and on the ground. It's really just about finishing those drives. Getting stopped on 4th down a couple times is tough to overcome. So I think that's really their main focus, is to keep doing what they're doing, execute, and then make sure on the defensive side of the ball they're wrapping up and making tackles.
This is more than just homecoming and GHV versus Forest City. This is probably one of the more important games as far as making the playoffs does for Forest City. They're already 0-1 in district. You have 4 games left. You need to, at minimum, go 50% in those 4 games. And when you're at halftime of the 7-7 game, when you need to win 2 games out of the next 4 you play, yes, you're going to have a chance to win all 4 games. Forest City, this team is good enough to beat all rest of the 4 teams, Clarion, Goldfield, Dow's, Okoboji, ELC, but you're this close to a district win. You got to win 2 of them at least. And Forest City found out last year it takes not only winning 2 of them, but also scoring points and not giving up points. This is a big football game.
Oh, absolutely. And, really, GHV is thinking the same thing on the other side. It's just as important to them. Obviously, they do have the district win, which helps them a lot, but they're still thinking the same thing that, hey, this is a winnable game. We're tied at halftime. It's essentially 0-0, and it's anybody's game at this point. They both want it.
For GHV, a win tonight will put them right on the edge, and one more win from them anytime this season will pretty much lock it. 3 different district wins is pretty much a lock into the postseason. And again, 2 district wins you should be in, but as we found out last year, Forest City gave up too many points for that to be the case. So that's the other thing that comes into play here. Do we see the offenses try to pick it up a little bit, knowing that not only trying to win this football game, but you want to try to win by as much as possible to gain points, especially because GHV last week, they scored 21, so they get their 17 max against Clarion Goldfield Dallas. Forest City lost by 56, so they lose the 17 max. So you want to gain as many points back towards that 17 mark as possible.
Right. I think the main focus is still to win the game, whatever you can at any cost. But, yeah, I think if Forest City does get a lead, it doesn't mean they're going to slow down either. I think that's the biggest thing when it comes to points is making sure that they keep driving the ball, keep scoring, because, yeah, that does make a big difference at the end of the year in district play.
We do have one score update. Clear Lake up 8-7 at halftime over Webster City. Webster City missed a 35-yard field goal at the end of the half. That was a game that BC Moore predicted 17 points in front of Clear Lake, and I was actually talking with some guys up here in the press box, and that was one game out of all the games that I looked at that BC Moore prediction, that was the one that stood out to me as that was a really bad line by the computer. Usually the computer is pretty good. I knew that was a bad line there. A 1-point game between Clear Lake and Webster City at halftime. So that's
is that
one
in
score.
Clear Lake?
That game is in Clear Lake. It's actually Clear Lake homecoming.
Gotcha.
As well. A lot of homecomings going on as we are set. Second half kickoff is underway, and it's taken by GHV. Kral is loose to the 25, and he'll get across the 25 before he's pushed out of bounds. That could have been a lot worse. The Indians' defense was able to close down on him.
Yeah, good kick coverage right there. And, the big thing there is obviously with Kral getting the ball, he is a dangerous out in the open field. Again, like we were talking about, saw that earlier in the game. So good coverage to keep it pretty minimal, pretty decent return out to the, looks like 27.
Yeah, homecoming here tonight, homecoming in Clear Lake, homecoming at North Iowa, homecoming at Lake Mills.
New Hampton also.
Homecoming at New Hampton. There we go.
Somewhat close.
Yeah. A team that former district opponent of 4A City, and we flip the district clock next year. Once again, could beat. All right, GHV will hand the ball off to Kral, and Kral is loose across the 35 to the 40. Kral just kind of squeezed out. I think he kind of maybe lost his balance a little bit there and actually just kind of fell forward. It looked like that was going to be a lot bigger gain than it was.
Right. And that definitely helps the Indians there to be able to get that loss of balance. But I think part of that could have come, too, from that blitz up the middle there. Really kind of clogged it down. Makes it tough for Kral to squeeze through those holes and then obviously lose a little bit balance, a little bit easier for that to happen. But still a good gain of about 8, it looks like.
Cardinals positive forward so far in this second half as they're going to go up the middle to Moritz, and Moritz is going to find a few across the, not quite to the 40, 39-yard line where he's brought down, but it's enough for a first down. So Parker Moritz makes the makes the run for GHV, the fullback, to the 39-yard line where the Cardinals will have first down and 10. We've played a minute here in quarter number 3. Of course, 4A City trying to get the football back. Don't want the Cardinals to control a long period of time because they will. They'll take 8-9 minutes off this clock if the Indians allow him. Gakin, he's out to throw, being chased by Willie Holmes. Holmes into the sidelines, and Gakin just has to throw this one away. First time 4A City has had good defense on a pass when Gakin rolls out.
Yeah, exactly, and I think that's exactly what you want to see is put that pressure on. Again, a team that doesn't often throw the ball, be able to put the pressure on the quarterback, make him think a little bit more, but still a good decision by the quarterback to throw it out of bounds and not take a huge loss there, which it could have been with a sack.
Willie Holmes looking for his second sack of the season. Instead, he runs Gakin out of bounds, and Gakin throws that ball away. So it's just an incomplete pass, stops the clock to second down and 10, from the 39-yard line. I formation for GHV. Indians will show blitz. They'll bring the blitz and brought down to the backfield. That's Parker Cox right there for the Indians as he brings Lucas Kral down at the 35-yard line. Cox gets right through and throws him down.
Perfect play, perfect execution with where that blitz was at, right through the front of the offensive line, really right through the A gap there. And again, huge play to set him up now for a 3rd and long, which, again, as we've seen, it's tough for this offense to be able to overcome that. Now the thing the defense needs to think about is we are probably going to be seeing a pass. Don't fall asleep and think it's a run just because most of these plays have been.
Parker Cox with a big play there for the Indians. One of those guys we talked about coming off the bench. He's showing blitz again. He will blitz this time. Gakin will throw. It's a screen play, and it brought down a great open field tackle by James Hagan. Back-to-back, great plays defensively by the Indians. Parker Cox and James Hagan, a couple of classmates making big plays there for the Indians.
Absolutely, and a lot of that play was caused by that blitz right up the middle. The quarterback had very little time to be able to make a decision, had to dump it off right away. But really that the receiver there did have a lot of room to go, but a great tackle by James Hagan. If it wasn't going to be him, it probably was a first down right there.
James Hagan makes the open field tackle. Now Ben Fox is in to punt this one away. Nearly blocked, maybe tipped.
Maybe it was.
Yeah, that ball went sideways off the foot So it either was just rushed and went sideways off the foot. Otherwise, the Indians. Now we've got a late flag that comes in as Cox was on the ground. Dadema was there, so Dadema maybe with a little bit of unsportsmanlike conduct or unnecessary roughness probably is what the penalty will be as Dadema gets called. So Forest City going to get maybe a little bit better starting field position here as they're going to bring the ball forward. I believe this will be, maybe they'll just get him for, it is. Personal foul, blindside block against Dadema. So Parker Cox gets laid out there, kind of an unnecessary roughing type of penalty against Dadema, but it's officially thrown as a, I believe he said, blindside block.
It looked like it. That's what I thought I saw, too.
The referee kind of did a couple of different signals. Right. He did the fists, he did the hand to the head, and he did the personal foul. So I think
a lot of things
there was a lot of things going on. I think he was trying to get to blindside block. That would be the thing that makes the most sense for him to call in that situation. Either that or unnecessary roughness, but he didn't do that type of motion. So we'll call it a blindside block. The ball got to the 32. So the Indians will get 15 from the 32. Which will bring the ball closer to midfield for Forest City at the 47-yard line. Math there to the 47, 32 to 47, 15 yards. 9:23 to play, third quarter, 7-7 is the score, and the Indians will take over an offense trying to find a touchdown. How big would it be for the offense to come score first drive here in the second half?
Oh, that would be absolutely massive. Again, like we said, had a lot of momentum in the first half, just couldn't finish on some drives.
Under center, Dillevue will pitch it out to Wilson. Wilson looking for a block. He's got a couple of good blockers. Now we'll cut it back inside across midfield, inside GHV territory at about the 48-yard line. Corey Thorson with a great edge block there for the Indians.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, good to see that we're able to run the ball outside on the edges. That seems to be maybe where we're getting the best luck at this point. Going up the middle seems to be a little bit tough. But, again, great run by Peter Wilson there, but also great blocking all around.
A pickup of about 4, maybe 5 on the play. We'll call it 5. And the Indians will have second down and 5. With 8:48 to play third quarter. They're going to go right back to Wilson. They're going to run. Wilson's got all of it and more as he keeps on chucking across the 45 inside GHV territory further to the 41-yard line. He needed about the 44, and he got to about the 41. Closer to the 40 maybe. And Peter Wilson just keeps those legs turning. We've seen that time after time by Indian rushers tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And, we talked a little bit about halftime adjustments or maybe what was said or thought of. It seems like one thing that must have been said was getting into this offensive line and getting them to have some more motivation and some more push. Because I tell you what, those two plays right there looked a lot stronger than a lot of the plays we saw in the first half, which is good to see.
Dillevue under center. He's under Peyton Klein, who's the Indian center all season so far. Wilson will run. He'll be brought down in the open field as he's brought down by D. Gall at about the 39-yard line. So Gall makes the stop at the 39. A pickup of about 2 on the play makes it second down and 8 here for the Indians. And going back to what you said, the pass protection by the offensive line has been so good.
Right.
They just haven't been able to get a push when they're run blocking. And so maybe just a couple of things tweaked here and there, and Forest City is getting a better push now. They're at least going forward instead of backwards. Dillevue in the gun. He's got Wilson with him. He'll take the snap. He's going to throw across the middle. Carson Hall is there. Easy catch for Carson Hall. Still on his feet across the 30 to the 28. That looked too easy from Dillevue to Hall.
It seems like that. Again, the passing game tonight has been working for Forest City, and you saw that right there. I mean, I think corners are playing pretty far off. That slant route right there was pretty open for Carson Hall, and it's, take what the defense gives you at that point, and it definitely worked right there for a first down.
At the 28-yard line, the Indians will have first down and 10. They're at the Garner 28. 7:14 to play in the third quarter. Trying to take the lead for the first time since GHV answered back in the opening quarter. They'll send Wilson in motion. They're going to pitch it out to him, looking for an edge block. Wilson's got some running room. He's at the 25, inside the 25, and he's finally spun down there. He's spun down by Dominic Holder, who was a defensive tackle who actually got out there and made a great play away from the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, another toss to the right side of the field for the Indians, and that GHV defense really closed off that edge very quickly, but Wilson obviously made a good decision to cut it upfield, and that's what ended up working to get those 5 yards.
Dominic Holder, 14 tackles on the season coming into tonight, 5 solo. He'll rack up another solo tackle there. It's second down and 5 for the Indians at the Cardinal inside the Cardinal 25-yard line. Delavue's under center. He'll take the snap. He's going to do play action. Looking to throw. He's got a receiver on the edge, and the ball is incomplete. A little bit out of the way of Hall. Hall did make a diving attempt at it. As a quarterback, you probably want a little bit closer, but also as a quarterback, your guy gets there and he gets his hand on it, you'd like to pull it in.
Yeah, and I think Carson was probably mad at himself for not bringing that in, but that was absolutely a tough catch. And, again, the tough part there, too, from Delavue's standpoint is he has to throw it farther to that outside. Otherwise, if it's too far inside, that corner's got an easy play on it. Man, I feel like, too, if Delavue would have had a lane right there to run, he had a lot of room off to the left side. That would have been nice to see, too.
It almost looked like Carson Hall wasn't expecting it, as if that ball was maybe supposed to go somewhere else, and he was kind of a last resort. This time they'll pitch it out. Corey Thorson's got a 15-yard line, and he's drug out of bounds inside the 15 at about the 13. Corey Thorson hauls in a first down for the Indians with 6:10 to play here in the third quarter.
Not as wide open on that play, but a great throw and great catch by both players with that one. Again, the pass is working right now for Forest City. You know, I think that's really what you rely on, even up to this point of the field, and maybe sneak in a few runs in there too, but looking good.
A methodical drive here for the Indians. Down the field, they're at the 12. 6:10 to play here in the third quarter. Delavue's in the gun. He's got Wilson to his left. Delavue takes the snap. He's going to hand it off to Wilson. Wilson running, and he's going to be brought down by Moritz. The linebacker comes in and makes the play. They'll find a couple, make it 2nd down and 8. So a gain of 2 on the play. Moritz on the stop at the 10. So it's 2nd down and 8 for the Indians from the 10. They get a first down at the 2-yard line. So you could have up to 6 plays here for the Indians from about 10 yards out. 5:32 to play, third quarter. Wilson in motion, and they're going to hand it back to him. Wilson on a misdirection. He's at the 5 on a body, and it'll be brought down. Oh, I don't like that spot. It looked like he rolled over a body to at least the 5, if not the 4, but the referee's going to mark him back at the 6. And I don't like that at all. Wilson did go to the ground at the 6, but he rolled on top of one of the GHV bodies. If you're on a body, you're still alive, but they're going to mark him down to the 6-yard line. Don't like that. It's 3rd down and 4. But the Indians will have 2 plays here from the 6-yard line. They need 4 yards for a first down. 4:51 to play, third quarter. Delavue under center. He'll hand it off to Wilson again, and he's drugged down in the backfield. They'll lose yards there, all the way back to the 8. So a loss of 2. It'll be 4th down at about 6, and it looks like the Indians will attempt a field goal here, I believe.
Yeah, great play by Moritz there on the defense, just cutting right through the offensive line. Doesn't seem like the offense was ready for that blitz, but what a quick reaction by Moritz to cut through there and make that play. Tough for the Indians, though, to once again get this far down there and not come away with a touchdown, at least not as of yet.
It'll be a field goal attempt here for the Indians. Ball is spotted at about the 7. Here's the kick. It is up, and it is well good. Field goal is good. First attempt at a field goal this season. Now we got a late flag. Late penalty flag comes in at about the 16-yard line. That came after the play, so it's going to be an after-the-play penalty on one of the teams. Flag at the 16-yard line, as both teams were walking back to their sidelines when that flag was thrown. So it's definitely going to be dead ball something. Who's it going to go against? That's a big question here.
GHV right now.
The PAT is good. After the play, dead ball, personal foul against the Indians. So they're going to call a personal foul against Forest City. Either way, the field goal is good. Indians lead 10-7. Kickoff comes in a minute.
Higher Spear Insurance strives to be your all-encompassing agency, protecting everything from your home and auto to your farm, crop, and health. Find us in our 3 locations, Titonka, Forest City, and Thompson. Call 515-928-2085 or learn ways to protect your future at higherspearins.com.
Grow Electric in Lake Mills is proud to support area athletics and proud to serve our new and returning customers. To get started on any electrical project, big or small, call 641-592-8282. Good luck, athletes, from Grow Electric in Lake Mills.
Welcome back here on KIOW. We'll call it about a 28-yard field goal, 25-yard field goal. Yeah, we'll call it about a 25-yard field goal. We were doing the math in our head, but it'll be about a 25-yard field goal there for Sopko as it goes through the uprights. 4:04 to play here in the third quarter, 10-7. So the Indians find the lead. Don't find 7, but they find 3. And a lead at this stage of the game, the Indians would like it to have by any points they can. Sopko will kick this one away. It's going to be taken at the 15-yard line by the Cardinals as they will return. Big running room out to the 35 as Gones on the return. He'll be brought down at about the 45-yard line. So that kick had to come from the 25 with the personal foul against the Indians. So instead of Fort City kicking from their own 40, they had to kick from their own 25-yard line. So that's why the kick didn't get to the end zone and was taken at the 15-yard line. So you look at that, the 15-yard penalty, the ball was taken at the 15-yard line, so that ball is heading for the end zone if the Indians don't get called for a penalty. Instead, GHV will have good starting field position at the 45.
Yep, and that's one of those things. It's been getting a little chippy. It is a rivalry game like we talked about, so those penalties are hurting both teams at this point.
And it will be a roll play and going for the home run ball down the field, and is it caught? No, it's incomplete. Dropped at the last moment as the Roslick looked like he had it hauled in, but Deegan Moore makes the hit on the play as the Roslick drops it. It's an incomplete pass.
Great recovery by Deegan Moore. He definitely got beat off the line. Again, that's one of those things about these running offenses is you almost forget that they can throw the ball, and you can kind of fall asleep. But thankfully, Deegan Moore recovered well, was able to catch the receiver there and then break it up at the very end to keep a big gain really off of the board.
So Deegan Moore makes the pass break up. That was all the way down about the 30-yard line, so it was a big pass play. Instead, it's 2nd down and 10 for GHV at their own 45. They're going to hand off to Krall. Krall is loose, but he'll be brought down. Good stop there by James Hagan. Makes a shoestring tackle near midfield as James Hagan stopped what could have been a much bigger play. He's only going to pick up about 5 to midfield as Hagan comes in there and kind of swipes out those legs there.
Right, shoestring tackle a little bit is what that looked like there. But, yeah, like you said, that looked almost pretty close to that big run that he had in the first half. Thankfully, we were able to take him down.
From midfield, it's 3rd down and 5 for the Cardinals. A huge play in this game right here in the second half with 3:15 to play in the third. Indians show blitz. They are going to bring the blitz, and we've got penalty markers for Fort City's case, hoping it is going to be a false start here against the Cardinals to make it 3rd down and 10 instead. A penalty on the Indians will give them a first down. It is a false start against GHV, so it'll make it 3rd down and 10 rather than 3rd down and 5. And with this GHV offense, that's a huge change.
Yeah, huge change right there. And they've really, the defense for the Indians have been doing this a lot this game. Linebackers filling into the A-gaps right around the center and coming in really late and really fast, making it seem like they're going to time the snap. And it's really tough for that offensive lineman to see 2 guys running at you and not, react. Yeah. And I think that's what got him right there.
Yeah, you got to hold your water in there, and they do not. 2:57 to play here in the third quarter, and they're going to move again. Another 5 yards. So this was a 3rd down and 5. That's going to turn into a 3rd down and 15 here for the Cardinals as Luke Kearney out there trying to fire the crowd up. You wouldn't expect anybody else.
Yep, absolutely. Always bringing the energy, but same thing exactly just happened with Parker Cox there, though, and he could tell, he knew that he was a part of that, but again, that little bit of pump fake, running up to the line like that, again, it's going to make those offensive linemen question it a little bit, and that's what we've gotten 2 times in a row, making this 3rd down a lot more difficult.
The Cardinals will have 3rd down and 15 from their own 40, and what was a 3rd down and 5 from midfield. Under center is Gakin. Indians will show blitz, and they are going to throw. Tristan Bransoy gets his big paws on him and brings him down inside the 35. Tristan Bransoy grabs a hold of you, and when he grabs you, he's going to bring you down, and he brings Gakin down inside the 35 of the 33.
Great stand by the Forest City defense. Way to drive him back. I mean, look at this down marker right now. From being all the way up at the 50, like you mentioned, to now be all the way back down to the 34-yard line.
Field position.
It's huge. It's huge. And what a great play by the defense there to go in and push him backwards again.
2:03 to play in the third quarter. A huge field position shift as GHV snapping this football from the 34 to punt it away as they had the ball at midfield. Carson Hall takes it at the 31. He will run at the 35-40. Still on his feet to the 45, trying to get further closer to midfield. He will find a couple more yards across the 45 to about the 47. Indian fans have a little bit to cheer about here in Forest City as the Indians lead by a score of 10-7, looking to add on with 1:45 to play in the third quarter. And now looks like possibly some cramping issues going on there towards midfield as
Carson Hall.
Yeah, Carson Hall looks like he's cramping as the Indians players are trying to help stretch it out. Emily Putney is making her way across the field to go help out the Indians athletic trainer. And while she does, we'll take a break. 1:45 to play, third quarter. It's 10-7, Indians by 3. We'll see it here. Actually, Carson Hall gets up on his own before training staff attends to him, so he'll walk it off. So we'll keep it right here. Thought maybe they'd have to go over there, get the cramp out, and then walk all the way back across the field so we'd have time for a break. But we do not, as we'll keep it right here. Carson Hall making his way off now and having that conversation with the Indian athletic trainer, Emily Putney. 1:45 to play in the third quarter. It's 10-7, and a touchdown here would make the Indians a 2-score lead, and GHV would have to play from behind. I would assume unless the Indians go for a big play here, we're probably going to be at minimum into the fourth quarter by the time the GHV Cardinals get the football back.
Yeah, it definitely seems like it. Again, Forest City's been pretty methodical with all their drives so far, just going down the field. You know, other than that big play that obviously resulted in the touchdown, they've been really good at pushing the ball downfield, converting a lot of third and fourth downs. So, yeah, it's a pretty good chance that with 1:45 left, we'll probably see Garner with the ball in the second or in the fourth quarter instead. But got to see a good drive here by Forest City. You got to capitalize on this momentum. Again, your defense just did a great job, made a huge stand, got a good punt return, great field position at the 47. Now we have to take advantage of it.
First down, Forest City. The Clear Lake Webster City game is 22-15 now. Northwood Kensett leading North Iowa 12-0 on North Iowa's homecoming. West Hancock all over West Fork 48-0. And it is 14-12 in favor of Newman Catholic over Belmont, and a good one there in Mason City. Peter Wilson takes the carry here for the Indians on the pitch out to the right side, and he'll find 1 yard from the 47 to the 48-yard line. Second down and 9 upcoming. Logan Coogee on the stop for Garner Hayfield Ventura. Mason City and Decorah are also matching up tonight. And don't see a score there, but that game going on. All those games on the Koloff Media Networks, found at northiowanow.com. Here's the snap to Dillevue. He'll look to pass. Dillevue surveys. He throws across the middle into a tight window, and it's caught by Ryan Bailey. I didn't think he was going to go to Bailey. Both linebackers, Moritz and Parker Stearns, were there for GHV in a tight window there for Dillevue.
I was thinking the exact same thing. I mean, there was some room there, and the only way it was really going to get to Bailey was if Dillevue delivered an absolute dart, which he did. You know, got it right in there, right to the chest, and Bailey was ready for it too. So great throw and catch right there, even though it was a tight window. It definitely was.
Yeah, that's a good one for the film there for Dillevue as he finds a tight window to Ryan Bailey. Makes a third down still third down and 2 for the Indians as they're trying to move everybody in motion as Eastfold moves from the far side of the formation to the near side. Riley Eastfold in there for the Indians. Haven't called his name much. Dillevue under pressure. The linemen have to let go. He jump pass, and it's caught across the middle by Sopko. It looked like Dillevue was going to have to throw that football away on third down and 2. He was running away. Instead, he goes with the jump pass as Sopko is open in the middle of the field.
Another great play, like you said, by Dillevue right there. Again, very tough under pressure to make that throw, to turn your hips and go back towards the middle of the field right there. Sopko did have a lot of room, was wide open, but again, very tough to deliver that throw, and Dillevue did.
We have played 3 quarters of play. It's the Indians 10, the Cardinals 7, Forest City by 3. Indians knocking on the board to try to take a 2-score lead. We'll find out if they can do so in the fourth quarter. Our fourth quarter brought to you by A&W Family Restaurants in Forest City. Open till 9 o'clock. You still have about 20 minutes to get into your local Forest City A&W store. They sponsor today's fourth quarter, and we'll have the A&W fourth quarter coming your way in about a minute here on KIOW and live at KIOW.com.
Shooters in Forest City is under new ownership. Hello, I'm Leah. I'm one of the new owners. Have you seen our weekly specials on our Facebook page? Posted every Friday. If not, give us a follow.
We're committed to the same great service you have come to know and expect. So come on in and give us a try today.
Holland Contracting in Forest City for earth moving, large or small building projects, farm drainage, directional drilling, demolition, tire and automotive shop, and more. Call the construction experts at 641-585-2231. Holland Contracting in Forest City, dedicated to making the region a better place, one project at a time.
Welcome back here on KIOW and live at KIOW.com. Sarah Negastal, Tanner Thompson with you this evening from Forest City High School. Homecoming 2024, and the Indians lead by a score of 10-7. Have the football at the GHV 36-yard line as they're looking in. Delavu in a hard count. Now he'll take the snap. He's going to roll out. It's a quarterback design run. Delavu still on his feet at the 25-20. He'll finally be run out of bounds inside the 20-yard line. We haven't seen the run much this year. Maybe Delavu just trying to get into the swing of it, but now we've seen it twice tonight, and that time it goes for a big run.
Yeah, you know, we kind of questioned if that was intentional that first time around, and maybe it wasn't, but then maybe they saw something on the offensive side that said, hey, you know what, there actually is some room, and it definitely worked right there. Good to see Delavu being able to move outside the pocket and run upfield, and again, another huge first down.
Coming into tonight, Delavu had negative 39 yards rushing. Of course, that's when he gets thrown down in the backfield for sacks and those type of things. Had 39 negative yards of rushing. Coming in, he's trying to get that back into positive territory as he makes a big one there. Yeah, from the 18-yard line, they'll give it off on a misdirection to Peter Wilson. Wilson's got some running room, and Wilson still turning inside the 15-yard line, short of the 10. At the 12, it'll be a 6-yard pickup on first down for Peter Wilson.
Again, great run by Wilson. Offensive line is looking great so far this second half. See if they can keep pushing it down the field. Now they're in, again, to the 12, it looks like. Knocking on the door again. Let's see if they can actually finish with 6 at this point.
11:20 to play in the fourth quarter. The Indians trying to make it really hard on the Cardinals, trying to make this a 2-score game. One receiver to the near side. Delavu under center. He's got Wilson with him. They're heavy to the right side of the line. Both tight ends are over there. They're going to hand it off to Wilson, and he's going to be drugged down in the backfield as he is quickly taken down by Logan Kuji. Logan Kuji got right through that wall that the Indians had set up on the right side and makes a great defensive play. Loss of 1.
Interesting to see what they're going to call here. Again, I feel like this might be four down territory for them. They would at least, I would think, have a little more freedom of what they can run, thinking, too, that they do have a good field goal kicker like they showed on their last drive.
Yeah, so if you throw a pass to the first down sticks incomplete, maybe you kick a field goal from here. This is about where he made it, actually a little bit further away from where he made it earlier. They will throw towards the sticks, and it's batted away. A great play there by Gage Cones as the strong safety comes from his position. Exactly what you want him to do, playing center field, and he runs in and knocks it away.
Yeah, throw just needed to be a tad bit earlier, just a little bit more. It was there for a second, but even less than a second, really. And again, once that's gone, that window closes. Thankfully, it didn't end up being anything worse than an incompletion.
So the Indians are going to keep the offense on the field. They're going to go for it. 4th down and 5 from the 13. It would be a 30-yard field goal from here. They won't pull the trigger. Delavu in the gun. He'll take the snap. He's looking to throw. He's under pressure. Now he's going to step up. He is going to throw the football, and it is caught inside the 5 at the 4. Was he still behind the line of scrimmage? They're going to say he was. Thought Delavu could just step up and run for it, but instead he throws to Corey Thorson at the 4-yard line. First down and goal, Indians.
Great catch by Corey Thorson to turn back across his body and pull that in with the defender right there and to rip it away. Absolutely crucial catch. Great play all around.
So it pays off for the Indians to go for it instead of kicking a field goal there. And they'll have first down and goal from the 4-yard line, trying to punch one in here with 10 minutes to play. And we've got timeout for a city. Indians will take a timeout with 10:02 to play in the fourth quarter. Indians lead 10-7. We'll come back in a minute for more high school football. This is Indian football from Koloff Media Sports.
Advanced Door Systems of Forest City. Advanced Door Systems is your Raynor and CHI overhead door dealer. They also service any make or model of overhead door. Call 641-585-1900 or see them online at ads-doors.com. Advanced Door Systems, the right door, the right way.
Hi, Olivia here from Everyday Nutrition in Forest City, offering meal replacement shakes and energizing drinks. Our drinks offer the everyday energy and vitamins you need without the dreadful crash you get from the other drinks. But that's not all. Not sure where to start with your wellness journey? Inquire on Facebook or stop by today.
Welcome back here on KIOW and live at KIOW.com. First down and goal for the Indians from the Garner 4-yard line. Under center is Dillevue. He'll take the snap, going to hand it off to Kearney, and Kearney will find about half of it as he gets to the 2-yard line. It is Moritz on the stop for GHV at their own 2.
Another cramp,
yeah,
looks like.
It appears as Kearney is down. Actually, we've got 2 players down. A Garner player is down as well. So Kearney's down, lost his helmet. He'll have to probably sit for a play, unless he took that off himself. We'll see what the officials say there. But a Garner player, that's Moritz. So actually, the 2 that hit each other, both high-energy guys. Moritz, another multi-sport wrestler there for GHV, does a great job for the Cardinals. He made the hit on Kearney, and both guys went down. That's some good football as they're smacking each other around. Don't like to see anybody hurt, but obviously the pads are flying, and both guys, the runner and the tackler, down for a moment. They did blow the whistle, so somebody has to sit out.
Yeah, I think Kearney's heading to the sideline there.
Okay.
It looks like both of them are.
Yeah.
Both of them are.
Yeah, you're going to have to,
Yep.
Kearney's going to go to the sidelines as he wanted to get
He
back
wants
into the game.
Yeah, you would think he would.
He tried
Ready
to get back
go.
into the game. The Indians coaches stop him, knowing that the referees will make him leave the game anyway. Moritz also goes to the bench. Looks like both guys are okay, but of course you got to sit out, and I think they blew the whistle for both of them. So
yeah,
once they blow the whistle for you, you have to sit out. Both teams will take a quick water break. No official timeout, so the officials blew their whistle trying to get both teams back on the field. All right, it's 2nd down and 2 from the 2 for the Indians. Dillevue under center. He'll take the snap. He's going to hand it off to Wilson. Wilson looking for the goal line. Doesn't get in. He's stopped at the line. Maybe a loss of 1.
Yeah.
It is going to be a loss of 1 yard on the play. Back to the 3-yard line. So the Indians will have 3rd down and 3 and 2 plays from the 3-yard line trying to get it in because at this point you got to go for it.
I think so.
A field goal doesn't do anything for you.
No. And I think you're close enough, too, where it's worth the risk of if you don't get it. That is a long drive for GHV to try and complete. So
Yeah.
I think, this is 2-down territory right here.
It's 3rd down and
4 down.
3 from the 3. 8:55 to play, 4th quarter. Dillevue takes the snap. He'll roll out. Looking to throw. He's under pressure. Throws for the pylon, and it is incomplete. Intended for Carson Hall. Lucas Kroll in coverage. And it's 4th down and 3, and now decision time for the Indians. But like we talked about, I think, maybe they are going to kick the field goal here. Or no, I'm probably just changing personnel, trying to put Sopko in. But we'll see what they decide.
Another cramp?
Yeah, Carson Hall again for a 2nd time.
It is, it's pretty warm.
It is warm.
It is warm.
It is warm. It was 81 when these players were getting out of school, and it was 73 at kickoff, actually, with the power of cool things.
Look at that.
It's
Ooh.
61 degrees currently. Outside, 61 degrees here in 4A City.
That's always one thing, though, too. When you're playing, it's at least 20 degrees hotter when you're all wrapped up in pads and you're running around the field the whole time. 61 degrees might not sound like that hot, but
Humidity.
they're definitely feeling it out there, plus the humidity, yeah.
Yeah. It does say that wind gusts are blowing at 16. I don't see that as the big American flag. They got the fire truck, big ladder fire truck out here with American flag draped over the Indians track, and that thing is a move. I know it's a big flag. The flags on top of the flagpole are the pylons aren't really moving much either.
No.
So I would say not much of a wind gust blowing around, but Carson Hall will come off the field as he was the injured player there for the Indians. 8:47 to play here in the final quarter. Indians leading 10-7. We'll have 3 yards here on 4th down. As we were talking about, really not worth it I don't think, for a field goal in this situation because putting yourself up 6 doesn't really do you too much. I mean, you get 6 points, or you're up by 6, yes, but all it takes for them is to score a touchdown and a PAT and take the lead. I think, like you said, even if you gain 1 or 2 yards here and make GHV go 99 yards, that's much better.
Yep.
Dillevue under center with the lead. He's going to take a quarterback sneaker, and he's in. Quarterback sneak for Dillevue. They weren't ready for that. Indians headed heavy to the left. Go Big Red. And Dillevue goes right through the middle into the end zone. A great play call there for Forest City.
Really could have just walked right into the end zone. I mean, that was just perfect, like you just said. Misdirection a little bit. GHV heavily leaning towards the left side of the offensive line. That right gap right off the right side of the center, just wide open, could really walk into the end zone.
GHV thought that was going to the left side, or their right side, our left side. We thought it was going to go power to the left side as well. Instead, they decide to go with the quarterback sneak to the right side into the end zone, and that will be a lead for the Indians of 10. It's 17-7, 8:45 to play in the fourth quarter, and the Indians lead by 2 scores. We'll come back for kickoff in a minute.
Malin Egg Service of Forest City is a proud supporter of Forest City High School athletics. Nate Malin is with you from the word go. From planting to harvest, you can count on Nate. Contact him today in Forest City at 641-860-1712. Nate will help you put the right seed on your acres. 641-860-1712.
Hey, this is Tom McGregor, the new manager of Forest City Auto Center and Chrysler of Forest City. Stop by the Forest City Auto Center on the north side for Chevy and GM products, and Chrysler on the south side for Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram products. Our stores proudly support the Indians.
Welcome back here on KIOW and liveacademy.com. 8:45 to play here in the fourth quarter, and GHV's offense that can break off big plays but is more of a slow developing offense now has 2 scores to make up with under 9 minutes to play. Boot taken by the Cardinals at about the 4. It's Cones. Cones trying to bring it all back right now. Cones at midfield. He's got one man to beat, and Gage Cones has got this at a 1-score game as he's going to go 96 yards for a kickoff return for a touchdown. There are no flags, and just like that, Gage Cones has the Cardinals right back on top with a big play down the field. His first kickoff return for a touchdown this year. He only had 66 yards of total kickoff return all season long, and he goes 96 yards here.
Well, exactly what you could not give up if you're Forest City, but exactly what you needed if you're GHV. Like we talked about, it wasn't looking very good, looking a little daunting to have a long drive this late in the game, but having a big explosive play like that puts GHV right back in it, and again, huge for them.
Gage Cones goes 96 yards, and they will try to add on the PAT to make this a 3-point game. The Indians trying to block it. They do not. It's a 3-point football game. 8:32 to play here in the fourth. It's the Cardinals 14, the Indians 17. They lead by 3. And now we've got a late penalty marker that just came out at the goal line. Penalty marker came out really late. Both teams had made it to the sidelines. The referee walked to the goal line and set the penalty marker down on the field. That was an extremely late penalty that was thrown. The players weren't even near each other by the time that flag came out. And we're going to hold it here to see what we've got. That came out extremely late. As in, both teams had already separated from themselves. They were both on the sidelines. Personal foul against GHV. I don't know what just happened. Maybe offsetting personal fouls?
I don't know either.
Okay. Well, we're going to keep it right here. We'll miss the commercial break.
We'll probably see on this kickoff, I would think,
yeah,
where if there's any penalty yards,
might have been
off. It'd be popping up.
Yeah, it might have been offsetting. Because the referee initially, I got that initial sign. The initial sign, he said personal foul against the Cardinals, and then he made a couple of other hand signals that didn't make any sense. GHV's kicking from the normal.
It might be enforced. It looks like
no.
It's
I think that was the referee was moving his hands. He accidentally messed up his signals, so he initially signaled. That's why he gave the initial signals. So it's a personal foul against Forest City, and that's what the penalty marker is going to be. So the Indians called for their second personal foul, and GHV will kick from the Indian 45-yard line. That's why the extra hand signals is because he was saying, my bad, I pointed the wrong way. And then he pointed back at the Forest City side. I was so confused with the hand signals because they were not making sense, but that makes more sense now. So he initially pointed on Cardinals Instead, it was a personal foul against the Indians. So it'll be a boot from the 45-yard line, and it will be taken by the Indians at the 2. Doesn't get to the end zone. Forest City's going to get back to the 20 just to make it. No, they're not. The 11. So it's going to be a huge penalty against Forest City as the kickoff return is only going to come to the 11. That ball goes into the end zone. The Indians get it to the 20. So a huge penalty against the Indians as they're going to start at the Cardinal at their own 11-yard line.
Now, if you're on the offense now for Forest City, they really have to try and wash away what that kick return just did for momentum. The offense has to remember that they've been moving the ball all game, just had a great drive down the field on their part. Keep that momentum going, keep doing what you're doing, and put this game away.
Indians are going to try to salt the clock down, 8:24 to play in the ball game, and trying to leave GHV with little to no time. They will hand it off to Peter Wilson, and Peter Wilson is still loose. Peter Wilson running on the edge. Wilson back inside across the 15, but short of the 20. So Peter Wilson is going to get near the 20-yard line, not quite to it. Did a lot of running to pick up about 7 yards on the play. We'll call it 7. Second down and 3 upcoming as the clock will go under 8 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter.
Good first play. Like I said, to keep that momentum going, got to remember that your offense has been moving the ball the whole night. So
17-14 for a City by 3. Under center is Dillevue. He'll take the snap. He's going to hand it off to Wilson, looking for the final 3 yards to get the first down. He's going to come up short, as Wilson's going to find 1 or 2 to the 20-yard line. They got to get across the 21, but short of the 22-yard line for a first down. So about 1.5 yards they're going to need here on third down. And, of course, if they don't, it'll be automatic punt time for the Indians. Maybe go Kearney here, 1.5 yards. Trying to punch forward for a yard. We'll see what they decide. Yeah, we'll see what they decide to do. The clock is going to be well under 7 minutes if the Indians do have to punt. Actually, might be able to get it close to under 6 before you have to punt if you do. It'll be under center before they snap this football. Dillevue's in the gun. They need 1.5 yards here on third down. And Dillevue back to throw. Now he's going to run. Can he find a first down? He's got first down yardage and more. He'll get down with the first down across the 22 to the 23. Smart play there by Dillevue, not trying to do too much. You get the first down, go down, let the clock keep running.
Right, and I think that was a good job to put the ball in Dillevue's hands. He's been the guy all night. He's been great in the air, and then apparently we've been seeing him do great on with his legs, with running it. So give him the option to do both, and he capitalizes on the run again.
Indians are going to try to force GHV to start using timeouts. Still a little ways away from that time, but eventually the Cardinals will have to start burning some. They do have all 3 of their timeouts. 6:29 to play in the ball game. Indians lead by 3. They've got first down and 10 at the Cardinal 23. Dillevue rolls out. He pump fakes. Now he's going to look in the pass. He's hit as he throws, and the ball is caught by Carson Hall at the 40, 45, 50, on his territory. 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. He is gone into the end zone. Touchdown, Forest City.
He does it again. He does it again. The tiptoe along the sideline, turns on the burners. What a huge play.
Indians answer back with a big play of their own, as I thought he was going to be brought down at about the 40-yard line. And all of a sudden he breaks right through all of them, and he scampers down the sidelines into the end zone. Go Big Red, as the Indians are back on the board with 6:07 to play here in the fourth quarter. So you're okay scoring quickly in that situation because it is a 2-score game.
Yeah, absolutely. And, still plenty of time, too. Like you said, it's really difficult to really run down the clock and assume you're going to have that control the whole time. You're going to take a touchdown, especially when it's a great play like that, especially to keep us excited. I mean, why not?
Why not? Sopko to attempt the PAT. It's up, and it is good. 6:07 to play here in quarter number 4, and the Indians will get it back to a 10-point lead, 24-14. We'll go to a break. We'll come back in a minute for kickoff. Hopefully this one not going 94 yards. We'll come right back. This is Indian Football from Koloff Media Sports.
Lucas Woogie is your locally owned Cornelius Seed dealer here in Forest City. Cornelius Seed, an Iowa-based company, has a full line of corn and soybeans. Call Lucas today at 641-860-0595. Plant it, profit. Cornelius Seed from Lucas Woogie.
First Choice Realty is proud to support our community's real estate moves. Summer is here and it's time to find your perfect home for your future. Call one of our trusted real estate agents, Bethany, Barb, Abigail, Mary, or Teresa, 641-585-2404 or visit us at fcrealty.com.
Welcome back here on KIOW, 4A City High School. It's a 10-point lead for the Indians, 24-14, 6:07 to play in the ball game. Indians looking to get back to 1-1 in district play. Cardinals trying to go to 2-0, but they've got a tough challenge now.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, we've seen this play be dangerous on this just last kick return.
Yeah, Cones went 94 yards last time. He's going to have to go even further. No, not going to return it. As Sopko got it to the end zone and put it through the back of the end zone, so no chance of a return there for the Cardinals. They'll have to go 80 yards of Indian turf to find a touchdown, and then that's not all. They're going to have to score again with 6:07 to play here in the fourth quarter. Carson Hall, no touchdowns yet this season. I know he had some injury problems he was dealing with, but he goes 2 big ones here tonight. His first from 63, that one from beyond 70. 2 huge plays for Hall.
Yeah, exactly. And both of them, again, looked fairly similar in the sense that the pass was towards the sideline. You know, the defender barely missed the ball getting it to Carson, and then he was able to just keep his feet in bounds and then take off from there.
Here is the handoff. No, it's a play-action pass, and it is caught. Oh, incomplete. Man, oh, man, Gage Cones just about had an incredible one-handed catch. Instead, the ball falls incomplete. 2 things there. I thought it was going up the middle. Great fake by Gakin as he got everybody to bite. And then his pass was a little bit high. A quarterback doesn't throw very often. And Cones just about made a spectacular catch.
Yeah, I thought he had it too. I mean, he jumped way up there, grabbed it with one hand, thought he was able to bring it down, but ended up not being able to hold it through to the ground out of bounds there.
5:59 to play in the ball game. Indians lead by 10. Under center is Gakin. He hands it off, looking for Kroll. Kroll looking for running room, and Tristan Bransoy. Big number 77 is there to bring him down with help from Brock Good, who missed a couple of weeks with injury. Sat out last week, but back in there making his presence known on the defensive line with Bransoy. And the Indians will bring the Cardinals down for a 1-yard loss and make it 3rd down and 11. And 4A City trying to close the door on GHV here.
Yeah, again, like we talked about, 3rd down and long is a tough position for this offense to be in. So having the defense continuing to push him back is huge.
Under center is Gakin. He'll take the snap from Holder, and we've got a false start coming against the Cardinals.
It's the same thing right there. We're having our defenders here, our linebackers. On this case, it was Gabe Kozma that went up there. That little flinch that they give that offensive line, the offensive line's been struggling with it all night, really.
And now if you're 4A City, you really got to start thinking about trying to make this a 17-point game because that point differential for the postseason is so important. We saw that come into play last year. You lead by 10. One more touchdown gets you to the max. The most that you can earn towards that postseason play is 17 points per night. 4A City lost 17 points last week. Could get 17 points back this week with a stop here and a touchdown. Leading by 10 right now. It is Gakin. He will look to throw. It's a screen play to Kroll. Kroll's got some running room. Kozma misses the tackle. And Kroll is loose, and he is on the races. 40, 45, 50. Still on his feet. 40. Breaks the tackle. 30. One man to beat, and he's brought down. Carson Hall saves a touchdown at the 21-yard line.
Man, I was worried right there. Like you said, when he gets out in the open field, it is tough to catch him. And thankfully, Carson was there to make the play. But, man, that is just a dagger on 3rd down and what? Was it 15?
14.
Yeah, 3rd down and 14. Really tough to give up that huge play when you thought you had him backed all the way up there.
And now it's so crazy how the game of football switches. A second ago, we were talking about 4A City seeing if they can try to win by 17. Now we got to see if the Indians can even hold on to this game as the Cardinals are knocking on the door to try to make this a one-possession game. And Kroll quickly brought down there. No gain on the play right at the line of scrimmage. 4:15 to play in the ball game. Indians lead by 10. 24-14. Tristan Bransoy on the stop for 4A City at the line of scrimmage. Makes it 2nd down and 10.
Again, the other thing, too, that I know we've been keeping an eye on, but really is starting to become an issue is that clock.
Yeah.
4 minutes now, just under 4 minutes left in the game. For this offense, they've got to be able to move the ball downfield quickly. Thankfully, they just had that large play that got them all the way down here, but they got to think about scoring twice now. Another jump.
And there's a false start coming again against the Cardinals.
once again, that flinch up at the front. And I think the Forest City defense is just having a lot of fun with it at this point. They love going up there, jumping, making them flinch, and it's working. So you're going to keep seeing them do it.
Forest City hasn't, while they mark off that penalty, Forest City hasn't won 3 straight games in this series since 2004, 2005, and 2006. Actually went on to win 4 straight games in the series. They won in 2004, 2005, and then won again in 2006 and 2007. 4 straight for Forest City. Then the two teams didn't play again until 2012 when GHV won to stop that streak. They're going to pitch now to Cones. Cones is going to be wrapped down. Brought down by James Hagen and Nick Donchie for the Indians. They'll make it 3rd down and about 13 or so to come. A 2-yard gain by Cones on 3rd down. Clock is ticking away, and GHV now, when do you use your timeouts?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, I think at this point, it's too late. You know, you got to get a play off and hopefully with some time left here. But I think after this point, you probably got to start looking at it. You might end up having to use it, though, if you go back on defense.
Here is Gakin. He's under pressure, and he is going to be hit as he throws to the end zone. Nobody's there. Nobody home, and the ball falls incomplete. Gakin being chased down there by the Indians' defense. And now Nick Donchie is down, and he's hurt. As he'll get back up and try to get to the sidelines with 2:45 to play. Corey Thorson will come in as Donchie will go to the sidelines. And he's shaking up, holding his wrist. The Indians have had some injury problems this year. GHV's got to go for it. This could be the ball game. GHV does have 3 timeouts, so the Indians will have to get a couple of first downs if they get the football back. 4:14 to play. 4th and 14 with 2:45 to play. Under center, Gakin. He will roll out and throw. Now he's going to run. Gakin trying to run for it. He's got to get it all back, and he won't even get close. He gets to the 20. Maybe the 19. It's a turnover on downs, and the Indians need just a couple of first downs to win this football game.
Absolutely. You know, I think at this point, too, like you talked about, yeah, they could maybe want to try and get those 17, but I think at this point you're probably just running the ball and trying to get as many, yards as you can, burn off that clock, because at this point, looking pretty daunting for GHV to try and score twice in 2.5 minutes without the ball.
2:38 to play in the ball game. Indians by 10. Trying to win this football game against Garner Hayfield Ventura. GHV scored a couple of times. The Indians' one streak will end tonight for a city with back-to-back shutouts. That will end, but the Indians would rather have a victory, no matter how they get it. Pitch out to Wilson. Wilson looking for some running room. He'll be wrapped up after a loss on the play. And now the Cardinals will start using their timeouts. First of the 3 timeouts for the Cardinals. 2:30 to play in the ball game. 24-14. We'll come back in a minute. This is Indian football from Koloff Media Sports.
Real man of genius.
I don't know about genius, but we've been called worse. Call Matt, Chuck, or Jake at County Line Seeds, offering DeKalb Asgrow, Whiffles, NK, and Latham products. We strive by turning seeds into opportunity. Give us a call today, 641-581-3300. Now that I think about it, that was kind of catchy.
Wilson Dental is expanding again. Wilson Dental now offering a clinic in Buffalo Center. Check out Wilson Dental now in Buffalo Center to go along with their long-standing tradition in 4A City and also offering services in Garner. Wilson Dental in 4A City, Garner, and now Buffalo Center.
Welcome back here on KIOW and liveacademy.com. Zero Negastal, Tanner Thompson with you. 2:30 to play in the ball game. It's 24-14 for a city trying to run clock away. Again, we mentioned the Indians will have to get at least a first down, maybe 2. They're going to hand it off to James Hagen, I believe. Yes, it is Hagen. He'll plow across the 20, short of the 25, and here comes the second timeout by the Cardinals. 2:23 to play. 10-point game. We'll come back in a minute. This is Indian football from Koloff Media Sports.
Forest City Ford at the corner of 9 and 69 in Forest City wishes good luck to our local athletes. We look forward to seeing you compete. When you need a vehicle, see us at Forest City Ford, where customers really do send their friends.
Matt Jennings and Troy Hall of Jennings and Hall Financial Group, located at MBT Bank, want to thank our Forest City teams for their hard work and dedication and wish them good luck this season. Best wishes from Matt and Troy at Jennings and Hall Financial Group, located at MBT Bank in Forest City.
Welcome back here on KIOW and live at KW.com. We got some good games going on around the area. Belmont pulling a stunner right now on Newman Catholic. Well, I guess what some people would think is a stunner. Belmont Clemmy has been vastly improving from a team that went a couple of years, actually 3 or 4 years without a win. And now they've got a win in district play and are trying to find a win over a perennial power in Newman Catholic. And, man, Belmont Clemmy's putting themselves on the verge of trying to find a berth into the Class A football playoffs. In the gun is Dillevue. Indians also trying to take a step towards the playoffs tonight. Hagen trying to find some running room. He won't. It'll be 4th down. Forest City will have to punt, and here comes the final timeout by the Cardinals. 2:18 to play in the 4th. GHV is going to get the football back with by the time the punt happens and they bring it out, it's going to be right around 2 minutes to play. And they need to score twice. It's 24-14. We'll come back in a minute. This is Indian football from Koloff Media Sports.
MBT Bank, based in Forest City, with 9 locations across northern Iowa and southern Minnesota to serve you. MBT supports the Forest City Indians, and we look forward to seeing our student athletes compete all year long. Good luck, Indians, from MBT Bank in Forest City.
Discover Waldorf University in Forest City, where your passion meets opportunity. With scholarships available up to full tuition, a wide range of athletics, fine arts, and over 35 clubs and organizations, there's something for everyone. Whether on campus or online, experience the support of a community that feels like home. Learn more today at waldorf.edu.
And the Indians will go back to punt. Dillevue will boot this one away. It's going to be good starting field position for GHV, but they got 2 scores to make up with 2:10 to play. And now we go back to that point differential thing again. This is a huge possession for 4A City on defense. If you can save 7 points by keeping GHV out of the end zone here, that's huge come later on in the season if you can win by 10 rather than win by 3.
Right, absolutely. And, I think that's definitely going to be the focus definitely we don't want them to score at all.
Right.
But, that's going to be a big thing that is going to carry on into district play, too, is if they can do that.
2:10.
GHV, I think, going to have to be in a passing mode. Now out of timeouts with 2 minutes left. So let's see how they can work through the air.
And there was no return, so they do get 2 minutes and 10 seconds here, no timeouts. Gakin is under pressure, and he is nearly sacked. Corey Thorson couldn't bring him down. He's still running. Gakin's now is going to chuck it down the field. A jump ball intercepted! Intercepted by the Indians, still on his feet at the 40. And out of bounds, and we've got a penalty marker on the field. Ty Supko with the interception for the Indians as Gakin just threw that up for grabs. And a penalty marker is on the field. Not sure where that's going to come in. Probably on the return.
Yeah.
So it's going to push 4A City further backwards. The interception should hold unless, because that flag came in from the middle of the field, so it shouldn't be any kind of pass interference or anything like that.
Wasn't before the interception.
It is officials' timeout for an injury. There is a Garner Hayfield Ventura Cardinal down. And for the Indians, they should be able to have a, well, I think you probably maybe run a couple and then maybe take a knee. GHV, no timeout, so they can't stop the clock. Indians on their way to a homecoming victory, 24-14, with 1:56 to play in the ball game, and just a couple of offensive plays away from salting this one away.
Yeah, and like you said, barring any type of major catastrophe right now, they did their job of keeping them out of the end zone and off of the field goal. No points at all there, and hopefully should be able to maintain a 10-point lead to carry over into districts.
Yeah, so the Indians will add 10 points onto their point differential, which will be huge. Cardinals will lose 10 points on the 17 they gained last week. 4A City will gain 10 points on the 17 they lost last week. And maybe one of these, if you do, I think they are just going to kneel it down and say maybe you break one of these off. And
I was right. But then you have that risk of a fumble, some big play happening. You know, it's a tough balance. But
Brant Bridges is in. He's going to play offensive line. So
it is going to be a knee, it looks like.
Yeah, looks like the Indians. Oh, that's why, because Kozma is the injured player. I thought it was a Cardinal over there. It's not. It's Kozma who was shaken up last week. He's walking across the sideline. So Brant Bridges rushes in. He will have to play right guard for the Indians. That's where Kozma's position is. As Kozma hobbles to the sidelines with athletic trainer Emily Putney. 1:56 to play here on the ball game. The Indians looking like they're going to take some knees here. And GHV has no way of stopping the clock, so it should just be 3 kneel downs for the Indians. The play clock will go to 40 seconds and start ticking down, so it'll take 40 seconds at a time. What a big confidence boost here for the Indians. At home, obviously they probably don't look at this stuff. Maybe they do. I mean, we were kids at one point. We like to look at that stuff. But you look at those computer models, say GHV's favorite. It's your homecoming. There's so many distractions going on, and the Indians put all that aside. And honestly, I think they played pretty good football from start to finish.
I agree completely. And like you said, too, tie in, just a huge rivalry game. A lot of these communities know people from both, from each other. And so it's huge to be able to have those bragging rights for another year with this.
3 straight wins in the series for Fourier City. First time they've won 3 straight in this series since 2004, 2005, and 2006. Went on to win 4 straight in this series. Don't know if the Indians and the Cardinals will play again next year, even if they're not matched up in district play. I would love for both these coaches, man, let's put each other number one. Let's not lose this rivalry. I know that's above my pay grade, but man, oh man, let's put each other up. I know GHV and Fourier City, this is such a fun game, and we got to have this every year. I mean, there's a really good chance that we end up in the same district with each other again next year anyway, but if not, let's get this game back. Let's continue it. There's been so many breaks in this series throughout the years. Fourier City hangs on to that matchup with the Lions of Clear Lake every single year. It's been played for 70-some straight years. But, man, oh, man, if we could have something like this every single year, it brings the fans out. Everybody loves it, even the Garner fans that are going to go home without a win tonight. I mean, it was a good football game from them from start to finish. The clock will tick away. Final score, Fourier City 24, Cardinals of Garner Hayfield Ventura 14. The Indians win on homecoming. They go back to 1-1 in district play. They are 2-3 overall. GHV will fall to 1-4 overall, and the Cardinals will fall to 1-1 in district play. It's the first home victory on this home field for head coach Tyler Anderson. He got his first victory at Eagle Grove, but his first victory on this field after Fourier City lost to Algona, their first time playing here this year.
Yeah, great game. Great to see Coach Anderson get that first win. And again, great to have it against a rival like this. That's got to feel great. And like you said, too, we've got a lot of winnable games coming up here the rest of the season. Huge district games that are going to be very important. Huge to have this momentum that you can carry through now through the rest of the season. I think everybody's going to be feeling good, having a good homecoming party out of this.
And not too much partying, though. Everybody's got to get back. Everybody's got to get back to school on Monday morning.
Well, yeah.
No, we know what you mean. Gonna have a little fun here. Homecoming dance coming up this weekend as well. 24-14 is the final score for Fourier City over GHV. We'll come back. Post-game show brought to you by County Line Seeds comes your way next here on KIOW and live at KIOW.com.
Real man of genius.
I don't know about genius, but we've been called worse. Call Matt, Chuck, or Jake at County Line Seeds, offering DeKalb Asgrow, Whiffles, NK, and Latham products. We strive by turning seeds into opportunity. Give us a call today, 641-581-3300. Now that I think about it, that was kind of catchy.
WCTA is the #1 choice for fiber internet. We offer fast, reliable fiber internet for all your connectivity needs. Our employees are local and live in the communities we serve to provide you with the best customer service experience. WCTA, we are your fiber internet provider.
NIAC is proud to help support North Iowa athletes. Working hard and being part of a team is a great way to learn lessons for life. And learning is what NIAC is all about, beginning with high school juniors and seniors who can start building college credits now for free. Learn more at niac.edu.
NSB Bank wishes the Indians good luck. For the past 90 years, NSB Bank has provided the latest financial products and services with a community touch by local decision makers. Stop into your NSB branch location in Titanca, Forest City, Thompson, Mason City, or Northwood. NSB Bank, we're here for you. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
Higher Spear Insurance strives to be your all-encompassing agency, protecting everything from your home and auto to your farm, crop, and health. Find us in our 3 locations, Titanca, Forest City, and Thompson. Call 515-928-2085 or learn ways to protect your future at higherspearins.com.
Grow Electric in Lake Mills is proud to support area athletics and proud to serve our new and returning customers. To get started on any electrical project, big or small, call 641-592-8282. Good luck, athletes, from Grow Electric in Lake Mills.
Welcome back here on KIOW and live at KIOW.com as the Indians of 4A City defeat the Cardinals of GHV 24-14 here on their homecoming. Our post-game show brought to you by County Line Seeds, our good friends there at County Line Seeds. Hey, maybe they're out in the field tonight. Maybe they're going to get in the field later on this weekend, or you're out there listening to us this evening, or maybe coming up a little bit later on. A lot of stuff going on, getting ready for the field to make sure you got the right seed partner. And in 4A City, the correct seed partner is County Line Seeds. Matt, Chuck, and Jake, they do it right at County Line Seeds with over 40 years of combined experience. They're striving to turn seeds into opportunity on your farm. Give them a call today, 641-581-3300. Again, 641-581-3300. That's County Line Seeds located off the airport blacktop in 4A City. Tanner, you've been looking over things here. 4A City tied with GHV at the halftime come out, and they win the second half and win 24-14.
Yeah, I think we talked about it a little bit. You know, it definitely seemed like Forest City was in control this entire game. Most of the measures when it comes down to stats, they really did win. The thing that really kept GHV in this game was some really just big plays. You know, you had the kick return. That was a 96-yard kick return. You had a huge run. That was, 50-plus yards. So that's really what kept GHV in the game. Otherwise, Forest City played a very clean game. Really no turnovers that I can think of other than on downs. And, really just carried the offense all the way through. I saw on there, too, 284 yards, I believe, in the air for Ty Dillavu. So a huge game from that side of things with some obviously huge plays tied in there coming from Carson Hall. So great game by Forest City, I think, all around in a lot of different ways. And like we talked about also, huge momentum to carry through the rest of the season now.
Yeah, and it was, okay, I thought so. So it does officially, we were correct. It does officially go down as a 96-yard touchdown return. Of course, when I'm initially saying those, I'm kind of just eyeballing where he actually catches that football at. So I thought it was the 4. It was officially at the 4. So it was a 96-yard touchdown return for Gage Cones. So that got GHV right back into it. But 4A City hangs on. One of those games for the Indians, too, where you're thinking, late in the game, and you – one of the biggest things coming into tonight is Garner had played 4 football games where they have had to play 4 quarters of football in all 4 games. So you really didn't know how that was going to turn out for 4A City. The Algona game didn't play 4 quarters of football. Clear Lake game didn't play 4 quarters of football. Spirit Lake game didn't play 4 quarters of football. You've played one game where you've had to play 4 quarters of football, and even then, you only had to play like 3 quarters against Eagle Grove. So they have not played a game where they have had to play from start to finish 4 quarters. So you really didn't know how that was going to turn out, and obviously the Indians persevered.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. That is very true. It's been quite a gauntlet for Forest City these first 4 games, but and then obviously the one game that does go their way, same thing. It's like it doesn't seem to be a tight game, a close game, and that's where you can really see what teams are made of when you have games that are like that. And this was a perfect test, really for both sides, but definitely for Forest City to see that, but then also to come out with the win and really look good in it.
There is a potential that 4A City might have started the season with 2 state champions later on. Both Spirit Lake, Clear Lake, Algona are all teams that are possibly, obviously, either Algona or Clear Lake could win, but both can't win. But 4A City, there's a very good possibility that they're gonna play 2 dome teams to start this season. And, of course, Spirit Lake, the odds-on favorite to win the Class 2A title, and as they continue to roll through. And on their way to try to win a Class 2A District 2 championship, it's going to be tough for anybody to try to slow them down. GHV will actually be the last hope, I would assume, as the Cardinals will play them as the last district game of the year. 4A City, of course, has Okoboji, which could come down again. Last year came down to the wire. Okoboji stops the Indians for the postseason, but long ways to go before then. You got a couple of big matchups coming up with Clarion, Goldfield, Dallas, Esterville, Lincoln Central, and Okoboji later on in the postseason. So going to be a lot of fun as this develops. But 4A City comes out on top tonight by a final score of 24-14. We will, let's take a look at those stats that you were talking about, Tanner. 4A City, 17 first downs, 5 for GHV. It was 109 rushing yards for the Cardinals, 90 for the Indians, 284 on the through the air, 88 through the air for GHV. Total plays, 65 for the Indians, 30 for GHV. Total offense, 374 for the Indians, 197 for GHV. And 4A City 7 of 16 on third down, not bad there. And 3 of 5 on fourth down, not bad there either. GHV was 2 of 3 on third down, 0 of 1 on fourth down in this game. Tanner, any final thoughts from you?
No, I mean, just to sum up, I think, again, a great win for Forest City. Like we said, to be able to, again, beat a rival on homecoming, on your home field. To feel good about your team moving forward is going to be great carrying into the rest of this district play. But really fun game, too. A lot of big plays. That was fun to watch.
All right. We'll take a break. We'll come back in 2 minutes. I'll wrap things up. Tanner's going to be heading out, but I'll wrap things up here in about 2 minutes. Scoreboard show comes your way at 10 o'clock. We'll come back in 2 minutes. This is Indian Football from Co-op Media Sports.
Shooters in Forest City is under new ownership. Hello, I'm Leah. I'm one of the new owners. Have you seen our weekly specials on our Facebook page? Posted every Friday. If not, give us a follow.
We're committed to the same great service you have come to know and expect. So come on in and give us a try today.
Holland Contracting in Forest City for earth moving, large or small building projects, farm drainage, directional drilling, demolition, tire and automotive shop, and more. Call the construction experts at 641-585-2231. Holland Contracting in Forest City, dedicated to making the region a better place, one project at a time.
Advanced Door Systems of Forest City. Advanced Door Systems is your Raynor and CHI overhead door dealer. They also service any make or model of overhead door. Call 641-585-1900 or see them online at ads-doors.com. Advanced Door Systems, the right door, the right way.
Hi, Olivia here from Everyday Nutrition in Forest City, offering meal replacement shakes and energizing drinks. Our drinks offer the everyday energy and vitamins you need without the dreadful crash you get from the other drinks. But that's not all. Not sure where to start with your wellness journey? Inquire on Facebook or stop by today.
Malin Egg Service of Forest City is a proud supporter of Forest City High School athletics. Nate Malin is with you from the word go. From planting to harvest, you can count on Nate. Contact him today in Forest City at 641-860-1712. Nate will help you put the right seed on your acres. 641-860-1712.
Hey, this is Tom McGregor, the new manager of Forest City Auto Center in Chrysler of Forest City. Stop by the Forest City Auto Center on the north side for Chevy and GM products, and Chrysler on the south side for Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram products. Our stores proudly support the Indians.
Welcome back here on KIOW and live at KIOW.com. Aaron Agostell with you here from Forest City High School. Our post-game show brought to you by County Line Seeds, located off the airport blacktop in Forest City. Make sure you get out there and give Jake, Matt, or Chuck a call today, as they will help you out with all your seed needs, helping you turn seeds into opportunity. Let's take you through scoring drives here in this ball game. First of all, in the first half, we talked about them at halftime, but the Indians score first on 3 plays, took 1 minute and 27 seconds off the clock. 68 yards, the total drive, but Ty Dillahoo to Carson Hall, 63-yard touchdown pass, would not be the only long pass from Dillahoo to Carson Hall in this game. Later on in the first quarter, it is GHV answering back with a 2 minute and 12 second drive on 4 plays, and Lucas Kroll goes 58 yards, which ends an 80-yard drive for GHV. We go 7-7 to halftime. Forest City comes back in the second half, and the Indians will find the first touchdown. They find the field goal in the second half at the, 3:25 left in the third quarter. The Indians kick a 25-yard field goal, and the Indians lead at 10-7. Later on in that second half, Forest City adds a touchdown on to get to a 10-point lead. That touchdown for the Indians was a 3-yard rush by Ty Dillahoo on a play that the Indians were had everything strong to the left side, showed like they were going to go left, and then Dillahoo scampered to the right through the GHV defensive line. 3-yard rush for Dillahoo, and the Indians lead 17-7 at that point. Garner Hayfield Ventura, though, they come right back on the ensuing kickoff. Gage Cones goes 96 yards to make this a 3-point game once again. It's 17-14. The Indians back on the board with 5:58 to play in the fourth quarter as Ty Dillevue went to Carson Hall, this time from 77 yards out. They went 63 earlier, 77-yard touchdown pass here, and 4A City feeling pretty good, leading 24-14, 5:58 to play in the game, and a power eye team like Garner Hayfield Ventura, that's tough to come back from on a team that runs the football for a majority of the game. And just like that, 4A City had GHV backed up all the way to 3rd down and 16, all the way back on the GHV 14-yard line. And at that point, the Indians are thinking, hey, let's try to get a stop here. We're going to have about 4 minutes to try to score and get to that 17-point threshold, win this game by 17, get all the points we can in district play. But just like that, the Cardinals able to break off a long 64-yard pass completion to Lucas Kral. It was a pass completion. He goes 64 yards all the way into 4A City territory at the 22-yard line. Cardinals trying to punch one in, but they don't. 4A City is able to take over on downs at that point. The Cardinals had used all of their timeouts, and 4A City is able to take 3 knees with Ty Dillevue and win the football game by a final score of 24-14. So some big scoring plays, 77 yards, 63 yards, a couple of long scoring drives for the Indians. That goes 4A City's way, and they win tonight by a final score of 24-14. Lane Gakin went 4 of 9 for 96 yards through the air, had an interception. On the ground, Gakin ran 1 time for 7 yards. Cones ran 2 times for 1 yard. Lucas Kral ran 12 times for 84 yards and a touchdown. Moritz ran 3 times for 10 yards. Stearns ran 2 times for 7 yards. Through the air, 1 reception, 26 yards for Cones. 2 receptions, 5 yards for Zaroslik. 2 receptions for 65 yards in the contest by Lucas Kral. Defensively for GHV, 14 tackles for Parker Moritz. It was 11 tackles for Cones, 7 tackles for Danama, 5 tackles for Zaroslik, 9 tackles for Stearns, 4 for Kuji, 4 for Fox, 4 for Dominic Holder for GHV. For the Indians, Ty Dillevue was 18 of 26 for 284 yards and 2 touchdowns, his longest from 77. On the ground, Dillevue gained 26 yards on 9 attempts. Sopko had 1 rush that went for no yards. James Hagan, 5 rushes for 10 yards. Peter Wilson, 21 rushes for 57 yards. Kearney, 3 rushes for 16 yards through the air. It was 5 receptions for Carson Hall and 160 yards and 2 touchdowns. Carson Hall had himself quite the game. 2 touchdowns, had no touchdowns coming into tonight. Goes 5 receptions for 160 yards and 2 touchdowns. Ryan Bailey, 2 receptions for 18. Sopko had 5 receptions for 63. Corey Thorson, 3 receptions for 29. Peter Wilson, 2 receptions for 6. And Luke Kearney had 1 reception for 8 yards. Defensively for the Indians, it was 6 tackles for James Hagan, 5 for Luke Kearney. It was 5 as well for Tristan Bransoy. Also had that big tackle for a loss and the sack for the Indians that went for 8 yards. Brock Good had 4 tackles in his return. Willie Holmes had 2 tackles. Gavin Litzen had 2 tackles. And it was 3 tackles for Deegan Moore and 3 tackles for Carson Hall as well for the Indians in this football game. 2 punt returns for Carson Hall. Those longest of 16 or long of 16, 21 total yards in return for Carson Hall in this contest. And the field goal for Ty Sopko, his first of the season, went 25 yards. The field goal was good. Again, 4A City wins by a final score of 24-14 over their rivals, the Cardinals of Garner Hayfield Ventura, tonight here to cap off homecoming. I guess they'll cap it off with the homecoming dance coming up this weekend. But an exciting night, homecoming football game. 4A City wins for a 3rd time over GHV in a row, for the first time since 2004, 2005, and 2006. And again, the Indians went on to win in 2007 as well to make it 4 straight wins over GHV. The all-time series, this is the 75th game in this series all-time. 4A City now leads the all-time series 43-32 in 75 games played. And again, the Indians win for a third straight time. Tyler Anderson beats GHV for the first time as a coach. Brandon Camerad falls to 1-3 all-time in games against Forest City. Beat Forest City for the first time in 2021, and now has lost 3 straight games to the Indians of Forest City. And again, if you didn't join us in the pregame show, of course, that 75 meetings goes all the way back to Garner. 4A City has played against Garner, Garner-Hayfield, and Garner-Hayfield-Ventura. First meeting back in 1904. These two teams met one other time on September 27th. That was in 1985, and the Indians won 7-0 over GHV. Much more exciting game at this time, a little more offense than in 1985, as the Indians win by a final score of 24-14. We'll come back in 30 seconds with our NBT Bank Player of the Game.
NBT Bank, with 10 locations across northern Iowa and southern Minnesota. A full-service community bank with checking and savings accounts, CDs, lending, and trust services. Where will you go with NBT? NBTBank.bank, member FDIC.
Welcome back here on KIOW and live at Academy.com. Zeron Eggestal with you from Forest City High School. Our NBT Bank Player of the Game. It's got to be the comeback story of Carson Hall. Has missed some games due to injury, and he had himself quite the night receiving tonight. Both of those passes from Dillavu were good passes and got him about 20 yards, but the rest of the yardage was all picked up on his own with his legs by Carson Hall. 63 yards, 77 yards, his 2 touchdowns. He came into tonight receiving wise for the Indians, came into tonight with 31 total yards of reception. He had over 160 tonight, so well over his average. No touchdowns this season, but he had 2 of them. The senior Carson Hall is our NBT Bank Player of the Game, helping 4A City defeat GHV tonight by a final score of 24-14. Make sure you join us tomorrow morning as I'll be sitting down with both 4A City head coach Tyler Anderson and Garner-Hayfield-Ventura coach Brandon Camerad, along with 4 other coaches in the area, Mark Sanger at West Hancock, Dan Frericks and Brad Chemnitz over at North Iowa, Brady Kurtz at Lake Mills, and, of course, Josh Fomborg. Let's see if that game finished up here before we wrap up. Belmont-Clemmy, they're trying to make a run towards a postseason appearance. And, oh, man, Belmont-Clemmy comes up just short, as they were winning 25-28, but Newman Catholic must have scored a touchdown at the buzzer to win that game. That's unfortunate for BK as they fall just short in that contest. One other final score that we can report to you. Well, I guess I got a couple. Lake Mills defeated North Union for their homecoming 34-14. Clear Lake finished off Webster City 49-21 in that contest as well. Algona beats Charles City 53-25. Mason City and Decorah. We can see the video, but we do not have a score in that contest, and it is we can't see the score in that contest between Mason City and Decorah. That game going on at Mason City High School tonight. That's going to wrap up our broadcast for tonight. Thanks to all of our great sponsors. Thanks to Tanner Thompson, who joined us in the booth tonight. Our studio engineer was John Lentz, and, of course, we appreciate all he does back at the studio as well. Of course, we appreciate all you great listeners and watchers of our video stream and our radio broadcast. And, of course, thank you to all of our great sponsors that made tonight possible. If you heard a sponsor on tonight's broadcast, go out, patronize those businesses, and tell them you appreciate their support of 4A City Indian High School athletics. I'm Zeron Eggestal from 4A City High School, homecoming 2024. The Indians win by a final score of 24-14. A.J. Taylor will be on KIOW at 1 o'clock tomorrow for Waldorf and Hastings. I'll be back on Tuesday as we travel to Bishop Garrigan. 4A City will take on BG Bishop Garrigan to try to move themselves to 7-0 in conference volleyball action. From 4A City High School, 24-14, the final score of 4A City wins. Iowa High School scoreboard show comes your way at 10 o'clock. Didn't quite get you there. Got you as close as we possibly can, as you got a few minutes to wait, about 25 or so, until that will fire up at 10 o'clock this evening here on KIW. I'm Zeron Eggestal saying good night from 4A City High School.
This is my music. I'm going to be awake forever.
The best mix